when we last left off, our intrepid heroes made their way through the Twin Temples. Having constructed the Pale Talon, his new Moonblade, they met with Elsina Autumnstar, a Talionite bishop, now a wraith, who is still inhabiting the place after her god was murdered about 1,000 years ago, though she and the other ghosts don't seem to have registered quite that much time having passed. She rejected Nahia and Morgan's offer of eternal peace, saying that she still had a duty to fulfill, and roundly refused to elaborate further on the basis of you guys not liking the undead very much. However, she said you were free to do whatever you wanted in the temple as long as you don't go into her lab, which thus far you haven't. Indeed, you made your way through the library, talked to a ghost, an old human sage, passed through an illusionary wall, down into the church, encountered a cute little elven candle maiden who was seemingly the only other wraith that maintained some semblance of sanity, and who quickly did ask to join Morgan's peace and was granted it. The party made their way from there up into the living quarters where they found Elsina's remains, including her holy symbol, a broken and repaired wedding ring on a very dead human who August has identified as a Malcolm Autumnstar, Elsina's husband. And you also, of course, found at the end the stack of old ciphers going all the way back to the temple's foundation about 2,000 years ago. So you have plenty to work with now for decoding the old Italianite ritual book that you found in Dalmanotha. At the end, you convinced Elsina to grant her sages and priests peace as well, though she continues to refuse to join them and has retreated into her lab with her holy symbol now retrieved and apparently full of residium in a hidden compartment. And that is pretty much where we leave off. Elsina has just retreated into her labs, leaving a lot of you in a very empty chapel.
Does anyone have like a blank, two blank parchment and like ink?
I
Don't draw magic fucking circles and sigils and trying to map out the abyss. Don't do that. If you want to try and do what you are doing upstairs on the ground with stones and strings, don't do that. You are banned because you could accidentally summon something, and it would not be good for either of you.
Is it possible to draw that stuff without it happening?
Why are you so interested in this?
Because when we walked in, I was down here and I was looking at that, and I was asking, I saw something in my head. I have two things in my head that is like something. And like, I don't know what they mean for you specifically. It's just those shapes make sense.
I think that's because they're geometrical and you're a stone cutting dwarf. It's a whole thing, I think.
Well,
I think it's just in your blood.
Yeah, so like that's why what's it called? That's why I want to draw it out. So in case I forget. But you need like magic to do to draw those circles, right? Tarnavak is that magic. Well, you're writing it with magic, right?
Not normally. I mean, I probably could if I used residium-infused ink, but...
Okay, do you have just regular ink? Like,
Yes.
okay. Is it safe if I do that? Use that, magic people.
Probably.
Whatever.
To my knowledge, yes.
Can I borrow 2 parchment and some ink then? Turn back. While you guys are doing the whole looking for the stuff there, I can draw this out.
Alright. Just so long as you don't go showing it to Gaius unsupervised. And supervision on him and not on you.
Oh, okay. I'll show you guys first.
August, even. Yes. It's not so much showing us first, it's more of a case of he's a bit of a dick and might just enchant the ink.
Okay.
That would be something he would do.
Okay,
Although after he saw what she did before, he might not. Maybe. It's hard to tell sometimes. It's a bit of a wild card.
You mean before, when he enchanted the rocks that Ursula was using?
Yeah, but he did that just for fun, just to see what would happen, and he saw what would happen. So, maybe? They're on the side of caution.
Yeah, I'll just do it here so people can supervise. Okay. So can I get that scrolling then?
Yes, here you are.
Yep. Good thing about being fucking small is that there's a lot of normal size things are small tables. Just go down here. And I'll start drawing. You will use my tools. Get some angles. Going. And squiggly it. It's gonna take about 10 minutes. Okay. Okay.
So while Ursula's engaging in her art project, and Nahia and the gang are acting as maids, what are the rest of you going to do?
Clearly, we're going to split up and look for clues.
Okay. Clues to what and where?
That was just a Scooby-Doo reference.
I mean, we did actually get the cipher sheets, yeah?
Yes, you got all the records which are ciphered up, and you have enough of an age progression to be able to take whatever either August or Alcina know and work back to common.
Well, may as well, may as well go and see if, like, the like, three sages can actually do the, like, stage by stage translation that we were thinking about last time. Right. Since Alcina is doing lab things, can just possibly save time.
Okie dokes. Can head upstairs. Drag all of you along. Yeah, there are the 3 sage statues. What records would you like to put in there? So you have very old, fairly recent, roughly middle age, recent in big air quotes, and the Palionite ritual book.
Well, for it to work, we would need the... Which one is closest to the Talionite ritual book in age?
Probably the middle-aged one.
Okay, then we probably don't need the very old one. Probably. Let's set it up with, like, most recent, middle-aged one, oldest one. Get them, you know, get, like, all of the forms of the cipher inputted first.
You slot the books in, and the statues' mouths open, clicking mechanically. They speak forth the contents of their scrolls in unnatural unison. It comes out largely as gibberish and talking over each other. But they are saying words, but they seem confused and they're not in any language you recognize.
Okay, so they are just... would it be fair to say they are just reading the cipher text phonetically?
Very possibly, yes.
Yeah. Well, I'll... Yeah. Well, it was a good thought, but without any actual means of properly programming them with translations, this I don't think they're going to be of much help with the ritual book, if they can even read it at all.
Would you make a actually you have calligrapher's tools. Go ahead and throw that. That's used for code breaking typically.
Is it? I have calligrapher's tools.
One of those neat little things that's got tucked into Xanathars.
Right, no, I don't. Sorry, I was thinking of the wrong class.
Um,
Oh, yes, I do.
Make up your mind.
And
Sorry, I looked at the wrong character sheet. I was just like, oh, wait, that's Ashton's. Let me actually look at the Kobold.
Well, could I get Marek assistance on this? He may not be a calligrapher, but he, I imagine as a as a as a king consort, he did have to deal with codes and ciphers at some point.
Can you
Yeah,
not get
that's
Szooth?
pretty fair. And yeah, if
Can you not...
do you have calligrapher's tools, Szooth, the actual goal?
Yes.
Okay, then you can also assist here, so you can get the full Monty.
Yeah. The point of asking about Marek DCL is that he gives an extra D6.
It's like a little bard die.
That's fair. That's fair. That's why. All right.
Oh, 16.
Okay. So it's definitely not enough to break it immediately on your own, but it's enough to jog your consciousness that the statues are certainly reading the cipher, and it seems like they're doing so pretty well, but they don't have anything to translate it into. They are in fact just reading whatever the papers say itself. Perhaps if you programmed in some sort of translation of a more recent cipher.
Mm. Well, did we have like a well, is there in the list of cipher sheets we got one?
There's not a lexicon that you can find, at least not so far.
Well, even if not a lexicon, is there something like a ciphered version and a plain text version? Because that could work for a lexicon, at least sort of.
Yeah, you could work backwards. There's nothing for actual language there, but you do find invoices where mathematics are worked out in the cipher and out. So you can in fact work out numbers, but letters are as yet elusive.
Well, those are definitely worth plugging in, at least.
And yeah, if you plug the two different invoices in to a couple of the statues, they will read them out, and once one statue is read through the plain text version, the next reads through the cipher. It reads once in cipher, there's a pause, and then it reads it back out to you as true Arunan numbers, or actually ancient Elvish numbers. But one of your companions can translate that, I am sure.
Yes. All right. So it would work. Just need to.
You're still missing something.
Yeah, need to find a book or a document that is just written in plain text that corresponds to something we have in cipher. I mean, we are in a library, so. Although, according to the librarian, the ciphers weren't really used for, like, actual books. They were just weird documents, weren't they?
Yeah, he said that only temple correspondence was kept in cipher, not actual books. Although apparently Talion himself did not get that message.
Well, there might still be some just tucked away somewhere. So I think I will I would imagine that they would just write it normally, correct for any mistakes, get their final version down, and then rewrite it in Cypher rather than writing in Cypher from the beginning. And they did all die suddenly. They weren't planning on this, so there may just be one of those just tucked into a book or laying around somewhere. So let's see if I can find that.
Sure. Are you going to check the library or the living quarters first?
Living quarters is probably a better bet.
Okay.
And can I get Szooth to take the lead on that, as I believe he has investigation trained?
I do. Let's roll. You're giving me advantage, right?
Yep.
24. I needed it.
All right, yeah, that helped a lot. The two of you working together spend about an hour scouring the living quarters. You find scenes very similar to what you saw in Elsina's room throughout. A number of acolytes seem to have died primarily in their sleep. And indeed, you can identify a couple of bodies with features that look awfully similar to the magi and priests walking around down on the lower levels that you've seen thus far. Old wizened beards and caps and robes. But there was at least one fellow who was up and awake at the time, other than Elsina herself. You step into a chamber on the far side of the living section for the temple's attendants, and find the corpse of an extremely old gentleman. His beard still visible in snowy strands from his face, and a tight cap tucked to his head that's now worn down to just a few small copper bands that held it in shape, and a
Sounds like
pair
I got
of
stuff.
crystalline glasses, much larger and more primitive Szooths, hanging off of his skull. It appears he was in the process of writing something, perhaps in the midst of the night when whatever tragedy struck occurred. He is slumped down face first onto his desk, and the back of his quill has jammed up through an eye socket, likely killing him near instantly. But you do see the remains of a scroll lined out on the desk, which you can gently move the librarian's body and take a peek at. It does indeed seem that he was in the midst of writing something out in the cipher. It's about a quarter of the way done, you would guess, and while it doesn't have all the letters itself, there's probably the X and Q missing, perhaps. It's got most of them. Seems from the plain text version of the letter he was writing a letter to Malcolm himself. Why? You can't guess, as the man was just down the hall, but nevertheless he was, and it seems that the librarian was outlining something of a requisition, specifically of Malcolm's time to assist with some sort of project. His time and some sort of device that he calls the automatic abacus.
Well, that should do us nicely. Let's go and plug those in. Or, actually, let's go and talk to the librarian about plugging them in. Because, yeah, just plugging them in would be quite rude.
Yeah, I can certainly see that. You can approach the desk, and librarian, as much as you left him, he's enjoying the book that was left. He looks up, smiles. Ah, yes, the young couple returns. Ah, much speakier than you were before.
No, the Lady Saris is in the chapel below. This is one of our comrades, Szooth.
I don't even know how you made the mistake.
He adjusts his spectacles and squints. Ah, you're the spitting image. Indeed, indeed. Ah, but my mistake. Please, what can I do for you this day?
Well, you may recall our interest in in some ciphered documentation.
There's a long pause as he strokes his beard. Ah, yes, of course, of course. The temple ciphers, yes. Did you have any luck down below?
Ah, yes, we have found several documents, but I believe one was penned in your own hand, so I would respectfully ask your permission before utilizing the sages for their translation.
And in my own hand? Which one is this? I don't remember writing anything down in their archive. That's not my business normally.
I believe it is a requisition for the aid of Master Malcolm.
Ah, yes, my gorgeable nephew. How did that get filed away down in the temple archives? Oh, those silly priests simply sweep up everything that looks like it might belong. Ah, that boy. He should come visit, you know. It's been quite a while since he came and saw his poor, lonely uncle. Oh, children these days.
Now I'm reminded I should probably visit my grandmama.
Yes, you should.
You have a grandmama?
Well, not an alive one, but it's always nice to visit the grave.
Yes, indeed. As the Lady Morrigan teaches, we must respect even those who have passed, and offer deference to their spirits. Yes, yes. Yes, well, I don't remember having penned a letter to Malcolm. It's been some time, I suppose. I must have just forgotten. Perhaps that's why he's forgotten all about me. Oh, I've made myself sad now. But yes, if it will help you in your research, go ahead. I hope it's nothing too embarrassing.
I'm sure if there are any personal thoughts in it, they will only make us think all the more highly of you for holding such good feeling towards your nephew, even when he does not come visit.
Oh yes, my nephew is a brilliant boy. The most brilliant mathematician of our generation, I say. Just a shame what his relations on the bishop's side have in store for him. Oh, poor boy. Elves.
Oh? Spare. Have they taken a disliking to him, then?
Oh, he looks around conspiratorially and shakes his head. You know how the elves are. Purist, a lot of them. Can't dilute their precious immortal blood with us degenerate humans. Ah, fie on them. The boy and his wife love each other. Who cares that she'll outlive him? Can't believe the Queen speaks so vilely of him. It's a shame, a true shame.
Well, let us pray that she does not move beyond words.
Beyond words and a broken hand or two, yes. Let us pray indeed. Librarian will set his book down and clasp his hands together, making a sign of the pentagram.
I mean, at least she is not dating people, right? Not that I have specific experience with that.
Eating people? Oh, goodness, no. We're not a bunch of kobolds here.
Of course, of course.
Lady Morgan would never let us hear the end of it if someone consumed the dead. Not alone how morally reprehensible that would be.
I mean, they're alive going in and dead. But, moving on from that topic.
The librarian lowers his goggles slightly and peers at you over them, shakes his head and returns to his book. And they call us the degenerates.
Well, you know young dragons. I'll just give Szooth a gentle shoulder pat.
Oh, yes, you know me. Completely not heresy to call myself a young dragon.
Oh, we'll let you get back to your book. Thank you again, Goodman Librarian.
Yes. If you see Malcolm wandering around the place, do tell him to pop down. It has been entirely too long. You'd think we hardly share the same building anymore.
He's kept that busy.
Yes, always toying with his little invention. It's probably cooped up somewhere in the lab. Or else, God forbid, the boy actually got out like I've been telling him to and took a walk. No, that can't be. That can't be. Not my Malcolm.
I see. Well, if we're the fortune to catch him slipping out for a meal, I'll pass the message along.
Yes, please do. Thank you. Pick up his book again and resume.
Yeah. Got the approximate lexicon we need, so let's start training the sages.
Oh.
All right. By the time you make your way back around to them, Saris has come up from down below. She is also using the statue of herself. She's tucked the charcoal rubbing she took into her own hands and is listening with perked ears at herself reciting runes. Turns as you step in and smiles. Oh, hey. Some pretty impressive magic they've got down below. Never seen warding runes like this before.
Oh, what's unique about them?
Well, normally warding magic is arcane in nature. There aren't a lot of divine spells other than, say, hallowing that permanently protect a place, but these are all celestial runes. Nothing in the draconic script, so no arcane magic at all. It's like The whole sequence is a prayer. I can't make heads or tails of it. Maybe it's ciphered.
Well, if it is, I've some good news for you. We've managed to find that 2 letters, one in cipher, one just in. I assume it's in Valish, Savin?
Yeah, this one is in Valish.
One in Valish.
Let's see. Merrick speaks that. Does anyone else hear?
I mean,
Yes,
he enables
Sarah's
me
does.
to speak it.
Yes. I was just wondering if anybody else could. And yeah, turns out Sarah's can as well. She'll nod, say, "That's good. I don't know that it'll help with Celestial, but..."
I learned to read that.
What was that, DCL?
No, it's not.
Okay.
I never learned to read Celestial.
Well, it might not directly, but assuming the cipher works in the same way, just need Nahia or the Morrigan to write a version of this letter in Celestial.
That's a good point. Well, I guess you need those letters now, don't you? I'll go bring them up from below. They should be undusting by now.
Thank you.
She'll nod and depart. Go fetch the rest of the party while you start the translation process, which is fairly simple. You feed the letters into 2 of the statues. One of them reads it in Valish, one in the cipher. And once again, you see a momentary delay in the statue with the cipher letter, and then it comes out much in Valish, but there are a couple characters it seems to struggle with. Like I said, it seems 1 or 2 letters didn't get used quite yet, but it's enough to make sense of it.
All right. Now let's feed in the most recent for cipher document and see if it can make that make sense.
Okay. This seems to be a bit slower of a process since it is just reading out without a corresponding translation. The voice comes out very slow and halting, but it does come out. And this most recent ciphered document appears to be an invoice from a large trading conglomerate. Let's see. Szooth, did you ever finish training in alchemy, or do you still just have herbalism?
Never actually. Dang. I've had enough downtime for it, but I always forgot. Oh, wait, no. Oh, wait. Wait. I'm looking at the wrong character sheet again.
Mm-hmm.
No. Ah, right. Wait, I've had. Wait, no. Are potions herbalism?
Yes, potions are herbalism.
Okay, wait.
Alchemy
Well,
is
healing
explosives.
potions are herbalism.
Yeah. Alchemy is used for explosives and transformations, which I don't think you've made any of, so...
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure I've learned alchemy, but I don't remember making any potions like that. I've only made healing potions.
I mean,
Yeah,
is it
yeah,
marked down on your sheet?
herbalism is Did you forget to mark it down? Talked about you doing it over the downtime as well.
Yeah, the problem is it's not on my sheet, and I'm always forgetful, so I could have forgotten, but it's not on my sheet, and I don't ever remember using alchemy.
Okay.
No, you trained it. That's the thing.
Yeah,
You
no,
used
I'm
the downtime to train it. Did you not fucking mark it down?
wait, which
Mark
downtime?
down. Winter
Presumably winter.
downtime.
Well, if it's not on your sheet, then make an herbalism roll with disadvantage.
Do you think if I
Okay, not
stuck
like it mattered.
Jesus, nice.
All right, so it starts reading out this invoice, and Szooth, it seems mundane enough at first, but a couple of those chemicals, and it is a list of chemicals and herbs and various alchemical substances, you're forced to quirk your head to the side, and it comes to mind that in combination, some of those chemicals could make a very, very nasty, like sarin gas sort of thing.
Oh. Oh.
It's not everything on the invoice. There's more stuff than just what would be necessary for that, and you know that presumably they could be used for other things. There's certainly enough chemicals here to make potions of healing, and there's inks for magic scrolls. But your trained ear can't help but notice this is a very dangerous combination.
Well, I've managed to gather some information from this. What I have here is very, very dangerous. Something I wouldn't want in the hands of anyone, to be honest.
What do you mean?
Well, it's just a recipe. Well, I say just. It's a recipe for a sarin gas.
You mean like a poison, well, a toxic gas?
Yes. Tasteless, odorless, very deadly and capable of causing a great harm. I mean, there are other things here as well, but it's very distracting.
I don't blame you for that. Especially since, well, from what the candlelight girl said, is, that may be what happened to this place. Let us hope, some accident caused by Talian's death made the chemicals mix and gas flood the place.
That would be awfully kobold of them. Our history is rife with a few unlucky colonies being completely wiped out from unfortunate trap or alchemy incidents. But to think something on this wide a scale, I think not a simple accident would produce so much.
Well, how much would really be needed to go? The laboratory was just next to the living quarters, wasn't it? It's just a staircase between them.
So we're talking like, everyone, everyone here dying from that, right?
Yeah, it's everyone who was in the living quarters and elsewhere seems to have died mostly in their sleep. Only a couple people were awake
Oh
at
wait,
all.
sorry. No, the living quarters is just this area, right, on this map.
No, you guys are in the library right now. The living quarters don't have a map, but they're basically on the same level as you, and like one set of stairs up from the lab.
Yeah, no, sorry. I was thinking you meant like most of Minotha.
I mean, most of Minotha also died, but no, this is unrelated to that accident.
Yeah. So you know the other map, the chapel map, yeah?
Yeah, no. Yeah, that makes more sense. Yeah, that wouldn't be much.
Yeah. Like the lab where the mix up would have happened was just off the bottom of that, and the living quarters were like up the stairs on the right hand side.
Yeah, retract the statement I said before. I got them mixed up.
I understand.
Well, I'm just listening to this, like, well, if it's a gas, is it lighter or heavier? Because if you go in mines, like, you need to actually put air in to the bottom forcefully, because when you breathe out, there is the part of, gas build up in mines.
I assume sarin gas is lighter.
Without alchemist
I don't care.
tools proficiency, and this isn't literally sarin gas; it's just something of a similar nature. But without alchemist tools proficiency, you don't know the chemical properties of this gas necessarily. You just know the ingredients are used to make it. Not even really in the correct combinations.
We just know it's a gas.
Yeah, it's a gas and it's dangerous.
A deadly poisonous gas. Okay.
Yeah. So if it's heavier, it will just go down. If it's lighter, it will go up.
There's a spell that does that.
What, levitation?
Oh, a spell that conjures a deadly poison gas that sinks down. It's like it's heavier than the rest of the air, so just like it'll flow down.
Yeah, that's why you use, birds in mines to see if there's bad air or gas. Because if the bird stops moving or starts, tipping over, get out of there.
So have you figured out the cipher thing yet?
Well, we've managed to teach we've managed to teach the sages the most recent form. We're just going to move on to the older ones.
Okay. Have you tried think we should try feeding the book into it? See if it says anything.
Let's do at least one more of these normal cipher sheets first. Since this next one seems to be from about the same era.
Oh, okay.
So, yes, you can feed in the next set of old temple documentation. These seem mostly to be purchase orders and tithe records, as the statue of the Minotaurus begins going through them. She speaks, it's boringly mundane, but those of you who are listening intently, would you roll an intelligence test?
Sure. There is something I'm going to be doing while it's reading these out, though.
Mhm.
I'm just going to be transcribing them into let's go with Valish, since don't want to confuse it too much, but just give it like an affirmative translation, correct any like the bits where it's struggling, where characters are gone. Just try to fill in what should be there, so can train it better.
Makes a lot of sense.
And yeah, intro. Can Marek help here?
In this case, no, but he could make his own intelligence roll, which I will have him do. Fucking Valeria's on point here.
Valeria and Hashat have a vested interest in seeing this through.
Whoa!
Oh, Merrick!
I feel Marek just wants to be done with this shit.
The two intelligent items just kind of glance at each other like, did you hear that? Did you hear that?
Can you break 25 with the D6?
What D6?
He doesn't get to add the d6 unless he's assisting me with something.
Oh,
Yeah, he gives that to other people.
that's bad.
It's like a bard die. He can't give it to himself. But it doesn't
Unless
matter.
it's
It's
a paladin.
well above the DC. So yeah, in this case, let's see. I think only Merrick will actually hotten onto this. He'll urge you to pause the recording repetition, roll back a bit. You see there. Look. You feel a tug in your hand towards the sheaf of paper in the statue's hands.
I'll follow his lead.
Tugs you up towards a single character, like a signature almost, on the bottom of one purchase order. All the other purchases signed off by priests, but not this one. Look. Signed T. Dot.
Are you thinking Talion himself?
Feel the sensation of a vigorous nod.
What purchase was it?
So you have the statue do what amounts to a rewind, start from the beginning. It is dated to about 250 years before the fall, so somewhat before, or perhaps even around the same time as Minotha fell. And the purchase order starts simple enough. It's just going through temple supplies, a great deal of incense, primarily starting off, several new tomes, blanks, scrolls, but then it gets a little weird. Stuff you haven't seen in any other purchase orders the temple's made, and it seems like decorations, not for a party, but for a room. There's a new dresser, a new mirror, a crib, clothes, but all sized very specifically, very small. Putting your collective brains together, it soon becomes apparent whoever was making this purchase order was intending to outfit a nursery.
Let's see. So everyone is here from downstairs now, yeah?
Yes.
Morrigan, is this from the time of your birth?
steps forward, looks at the date again. No, I was quite old at that point.
No, Nahia. Almost certainly not. It's too early for Malcolm to have been the father. And
Right, the half-elf would have aged out.
It's from the
he-
time around when Manotha was going to fall.
I suspect this may be a child, or possibly a planned child, of Talian's himself.
Something
Yes,
happened
what?
between him and the Queen of Manotha. Something that
What?
made him curse everybody.
Did Talion get the Queen of Manotha preggers?
Maybe. Or was intending to.
What's up, August?
Nothing. This. When you said Alcina with child, I just remembered you did have a kid. You're right. This is way, way before her day. Malcolm wouldn't have even been born yet.
Okay. Yeah, it could be some kind of
Wait.
Asamu child.
Would wait. Think for a moment. Maybe it was a situation like mine.
Maybe.
Moriel wiggled her ears. I don't think so. I never knew Talion to have any children.
Yeah, but I don't get it. Who said that?
Mori.
Okay. Yeah, but not many knew about my boy. Either.
I suppose, but no one could have kept Talion from his own child.
Well, maybe it's not so much that kept him from child. Maybe she Ursula just shudders.
What?
Maybe she didn't want to have the baby.
Oh. Oh dear.
That might
That
have been
sounds unfortunately likely.
enough. That maybe. I can imagine that might be enough to piss him off severely.
Well, let's finish feeding these in, and my corrected translations. Let's get them as close as we can, and then let's do the book.
Sure, I'll help if you want a pair of special eyes on the matter, if you're sure there's no magic trap.
Yeah. So, Nahia, when you peer at these ciphers, they just swim in front of your eyes.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, you stare at them for more than a couple seconds and you want to throw up.
Nahia?
They are apparently quite safe against the magic eyes.
Ah,
Oh, that's weird. I haven't known what seasickness was since I was like 5. Ugh.
Don't you like the motion of the ocean?
I do, usually. I mean, look, everyone starts at least a little bit before they get their sea legs. For me, that was age 5.
Oh,
I'm impressed you remember that.
What 5-year-old doesn't remember the first time they got the most sick they've ever been?
I mean, me, but we age differently.
I'm sure.
by the way, the ink has dried.
Yeah.
No,
I want to show.
I feel like from growing up in like Demon Pleasantville, I should know vaguely what that is, but I was too young. I'll throw a fucking in there just in case, but I don't know.
Ursula has managed to draw something that is indeed vaguely like a demon summoning circle. Or rather, just a summoning circle. Theoretically, you could summon whatever.
It's missing all the filly bits in the middle of it,
Yeah,
which is
because
for the
I
best,
don't.
but you've drawn a very useful template.
I saw it and I was because I don't know magic. I know there's like supposed to go some stuff on it, but
Sure,
the
I
one
mean,
with the one with the circles. When I started to think of, well, there's like magic and how many types there are. So I thought, well,
Can I see that?
yeah, sure. And I was thinking like, well, I've heard there's like a demon of this and demon of that. Be like, well, there's uh, good and bad. Like the ones that I know is like lust, gluttony, greed, sloth, envy, wrath, and pride. And then I know like the one like the temple is like chastity. It's like they have a no, opposite. Temper, something. Charity, you're diligent, you have patience, you have kindness, and you have humility. But that's just 7. So, love, hate. Ta-da!
yeah, makes sense. It would likely take, as I said, like a bunch of extra squiggles in the middle to pick a place to pull that summoning from, and a bunch of Residium ink, but that looks like the gist of it. You could probably make that into a wooden cutout and then paint over it to do instant summoning circles.
Well, others could do that, just not me. There was, and I guess my boy is really smart, okay? So, I'm good with making and working stone, so it is easy. The other one is just like, well, if you have a box, you make a square, then you have a box within a box, within a box, within a box, like that. And they all spin around, they're stuck. Because there's never a single straight line. See?
No, and
Like,
frankly, I don't want to.
Okay. I just saw that big circle in the library before and like, this looks familiar.
Okay. Yes.
Okay, yeah, but I'm just trying to draw this and get it on my head. You can have it if you want.
Saris
God, do
will
I even-
immediately take you up on, you can have this if you want.
Yeah, I only know one summoning, to be fair. I shall gesture at Mari. Oh, by the way, here. I shall give her a bottle of Black Hat Eye.
Oh, thank you.
Welcome.
Be right back. Walk out. Look at the ghosts. Be just a moment. Come here, dears.
Oh, thank you.
Oh dear.
You hear several ectoplasmic popping sounds from outside.
Yeah.
So, Tarn, you,
Here you go, Ceres. Enjoy
yeah,
that.
she will take that from you and tuck it into one of her own tomes. The handmaiden makes a, like, squeaky toy squeak. You feel a
Very
magical
cute,
effect
yes.
pass on to you, Nahia, but you all already have temporary hit points, so she can't give you any more.
That's fine. I get a much more powerful temporary effect, and that's the warmth of a handmaiden hug.
She's very warm and squishy. And yeah, Tarn, you can continue to feed information into the sage's statues, catching them up to the cipher that should be more or less equivalent to when Minotha fell. And you can set the book into the last of the statue's arms and have Princess Galewyn read you out the translation. This is a whole-ass book, though, several hundred pages. But she will begin. Let's see. I suppose make an Arcana check to make heads or tails of what you hear.
Sure. Marek help?
Yes, he can help with this.
Alright.
Oh, I will also make a check. Oh,
And can I have a guidance as well?
Sure, Augie will throw one on you.
Mm, 23.
Alright. Anybody else?
I don't think I'm much help in this case.
nah.
But the
All
curse rate either unless you want to draw in.
So, what you hear is interesting, Tarn. It starts out with a dedication, though in this case it comes out, despite the statues being trained in Valish, in Elvish, though if not you, then one of your friends can translate it as, I write these words for myself, and only for myself. Woe be to any that read them without the consent of the god of magic. Then it begins. The words that follow, every other sentence seems disjointed until you put together that there seems to be two lines woven into each other. One line is Talian's religious philosophy, and the next line is parts of a spell, and they interchange one after the other. Spellcraft is gibberish to most of you, but you can quickly put together between your casters that This is a very, very comprehensive spellbook. It starts at first level and continues to ascend all the way to 6th level spells. And each spell is woven through with different teachings of the god of magic, his insistence that magic be a tool used, not something that folks should rely on. That it is a weapon, but one that should be wielded sensibly and rationally. That it is a means of defense, but one should wear armor and wield a shield and carry friends into battle as well. Magic is shaped by your mind and will, but it can also shape yours in turn, and thus must be treated with care. Philosophy and magic go on and on until such time that you should choose to remove the book. But with your more updated cipher, you can now translate the totality of it at will, and thus you have access to the Bleak Codex.
Oh, holy fuck.
Oh.
Hey guy, they found one of the Dark Souls items.
God damn, that's fucking
Oh my-
incredible.
Wait,
Oh fuck!
Dear Christ.
It contains every spell in existence.
Yes, and it will update to acquire more as they are invented. Indeed, it has massive milky memories, which is a invention from the last 100 years written in it.
Wow, I feel like I'm not even capable of grasping the scope of this.
Does it say who made these spells? These
No.
invented spells? No, it doesn't say. Of course not.
I ain't giving you credit for shit.
Of course, it doesn't give credit. What an asshole!
Amazing magic, no credit given.
Instead of Muraziel's amazing summoning, it's just called amazing summoning.
Yeah,
Like, you son of a
indeed, it doesn't
bitch.
have like Bigby's hand; it just has Mage's hand. It's no,
It just
it's
has
the
hand,
tiny-
and you're like,
yeah,
wait,
exactly.
which spell is hand?
It literally has all the serial numbers filed off custom spells.
This son of a bitch.
I guess
You
that's
make
how.
this. I made this.
I guess no matter how powerful a wizard you are, you always have to avoid litigation.
When Mori comes back, we might want to ask if she can temporarily attune to it, because I suspect that is necessary in order to break this curse. And she's the closest we have to a paladin of Talion, considering August is a little bit non-committal.
August will just kind of glance up. Huh? I still have
Are
all
you
my
still-
magic in a
Oh,
weird twist of fate.
Yeah.
would you be willing to join us in the quick trip to Damanotha with this thing and break that curse?
Sure, I guess.
Sweet. I'll make sure that there are plenty of cocktails to drink.
Yeah, August is like barely paying attention to you. He seems caught up in his own thoughts, but he'll just kind of wave you off, like, yeah, whatever.
Wait, this last effect here.
Yeah, Eternal
mean,
Rest
we
is in
should
it, which
put-
you'll need.
It's that the hallowing expands to encompass the entirety of a structure.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is the one that they need for
Yeah.
Damanotha to send all the moves off, because it's got the Eternal Rest feature on it.
Yeah.
Like, that's why she gave us that book. That we need it for this.
Yeah, this is in fact exactly why Princess Kreshimir was desperately trying to get her hands on this book.
I will say this though: if a wizard or a king or kind of the main cleric, 1 level 8 slot.
Oh,
Yeah, that's pretty
absolutely.
huge.
I'm already quite comfortable where I'm at, but a level 8 slot for wizards would be sick, beyond sick.
Yeah,
But none of our
and with-
wheelhouse here.
Yeah, you can also upcast at level 7. It's like, oh god, that's not good. That's horrifying.
Yeah, I guess technically, because a wizard book can have any number of the spells written into them.
Yeah,
Yeah, I guess you could
Okay.
upcast a level 7 to an 8 using the 1/8 slot that you get.
Mm-hmm.
I still haven't shown you the cool
Yeah.
spell I got with Pale Talon.
wait, what?
Alas, I can't show you it because I resummoned Mari. I'll have to wait for
No, I
when she
said,
goes
wait,
back.
wait.
Well,
Hold on. Wrong way.
I didn't catch what you were trying to say. With what?
Oh, my sword gave me a spell as well while I'm attuned to it.
Oh, okay.
It's the
Yeah,
Gothist, and I love it.
Oh shit. Tarn. Sorry, Merzendi. Very good point. Which means you can cast level 7 or 8 rituals.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That means you can actually can you upcast
Yep.
a ritual then?
Yep.
Oh god. Oh, that's bad. Oh, that's horrifying.
Yep.
Cool.
This spellbook is the personal tome of a god. It is
Yeah.
stupidly powerful.
Although apparently there aren't any level 7 or 8 rituals.
That does not
That
surprise me at
also
all.
does not surprise. Okay.
If you're a bard, your rituals stop at level 3. That's it. It's the end.
So sad.
It is. And yeah, Goth Mori
Yeah.
will walk back in still, like fixing up the leftover makeup.
Well, I'll pull out a brush for her, considering it's just been dyed.
Thank you. What's everyone gawking about?
Oh,
We
Italian spellbook.
Ah,
Histories are never gonna believe this.
Mori nods and like does a double take. What?
this is Talion's spellbook.
yeah, not his avatars or his like champion. Look at this effect. I'll point out the hallowing bit because I'm sure she would be unbelievably fucking stoked. Look at this shit.
Ooh,
How cool is that?
that is potent.
We need to figure out how to do that. I might have to make that the next goal after the hunt for Herova to make some kind of hallowing item that works that well.
Well, considering Talion's not around anymore, I don't suppose he'll mind us copying his magic.
Have you looked in that? He fucking ripped all of this, all the serial numbers off of all of these spells. I think Turnabout is fair play.
And I'm sure if you, while he was alive, copied a spell of Talion's, he'd likely smite you.
Oh, totally, no doubt. Piece of shit.
Only I am allowed to do that.
Yeah.
Exactly, that is how Talion worked.
What is the point of being an overly powerful mage if you're not an egoist?
Yeah.
I wish he was wrong.
Yeah.
Oh well, it's a shame. I don't think I can pull this ritual off myself.
Nope. Luckily, we still happen to have it. A paladin of Talion who can do it.
Oh god damn it.
Yep.
Can we take Elsina? I like her more. I think she's a ghost.
Oh my, come on.
I think she would destroy herself in the process, so
I don't see
probably
the
wouldn't
problem.
agree.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what Mori would be hoping for.
Yes, but I think she's smart enough to figure that side effect out and refuse on those grounds.
I mean, she's about to leave willingly when she's done in her lab. In fact, should we go and see how she's doing?
I hope she's
No, I
not
was just
crazy.
down there. The door's still closed.
I hope
Oh.
she's not doing some kind of abominable work.
Oh, she
don't
is. I can
think
feel
s-
torrents of souls moving around behind that door.
Yes. Other thing we discovered, the cause of all of the deaths, a toxic gas leaked out of the lab. She kept receipts.
Ah,
Also,
That would
we
explain
may
it.
have Were you here? Was she here when we just read when we found the
baby
nursery
thing?
stuff?
Yes. Yes, I
Okay.
was.
Okay.
That's possibly the most disturbing implication I've heard all year, but yes.
It's been a busy year.
And yet.
Uh, hmm. It might be the most. I don't know. There's a lot of challenges to top. I think the fact that uh, time and space broke, that one was probably, I think, more disturbing on a grander scale than Talion getting cucked.
I don't think he got
Well, sorry,
cucked.
no, not cucked.
I prefer not to make a meme out of a child dying.
No, aborted out of wedlock, I suppose, is exactly not what I am interested in.
Where you just kind of flicked your nose.
It's a very twisty story.
Yeah. Again, it's a tough balance between that and very pretty.
I hope that is not the case, but like I said, Talion having no children, so
Well,
I cannot imagine why else he would be buying children's things.
When we can put all the spirits to rest, we can take a more thorough look around the ruins, and maybe there'll be something in the queen's personal chambers or something.
Wait. I have a question.
I probably don't have an answer this time, but go ahead.
He said he was gonna do Talion's last week.
Who? What?
Our character, the wraith lady.
Alcina?
Yes. List. Talion. Last week.
That list was several centuries old by the time... Mori just kind of glances at August. Talion died. I doubt they're related.
Yeah, but he's the god of magic, remember? Like, figuring out, I figured out, all I need to do is just do this. Poof. And I'm like, oh shit, I'd be stabbed.
Mori just curls her lip up in disgust. You think he was trying to necromance a fetus?
He probably tried to revive.
Even by Talion standards, that's abominable. And again, Talion was... Oh shit.
Oh shit.
Just leans back and rubs her chin in a fashion very similar to August over there in the side of the room. When Talion was murdered in the dream, his aspects were still walking the earth. According to Mother, after Talion died, the aspects stuck around for a while. It took time for them to discorporate. Apparently some Pergothian adventurers near a century ago found a book of Talion's that was full of necromancy spells.
Oh yeah, the writings of Mad Talion.
Mm-hmm.
Wait,
Apparently his aspects went rather mad and started touching on the darkest of magics.
Trying to resurrect their lost godhood, or
That was my assumption, and certainly was Mother's and the rest of the gods when they found out about it.
how many aspects of Italian is there?
Apparently
would
on
imagine
this whole,
3.
there were 3 of each god. So, except myself, I suppose.
Let me just stop. There were 3 aspects of Italian. So, and they were on, like, Iona walking around,
Yes,
and you said they
that's my
went
understanding.
poof after a while. Okay, so they went poof
I
after
don't
a
know
while.
what happened to them. As far as I know, they discorporated.
Oh, do they leave when they do that? Do they leave like that shards like that?
Of godhood? No, not normally. Normally when an aspect's slain, it returns to the dream, much as if I just discorporated myself. It takes tremendous magical power or some other influence to cause a aspect to leave itself behind, its soul.
If they were just going to decorporate, what would have happened if their the god
is
that they
nothing to-
belonged to was dead? Would they just
I don't know.
reform?
Have any been found?
If they have, no one's told the rest of the gods. I suppose it's possible one of those aspects is still squirreled away somewhere, practicing mad necromancy, but
to tell the truth, that is what I fear Elsina's project is.
no. I'll tell you that straight away. There's no godhood in this place.
The runes on her temple door, those are celestial wardings. Could they not trick your divine sense?
Morgan will tap her chin for a moment. If this is Talion's magic, I suppose anything's possible. I would suspect he likely warded the door himself, but I sensed something through there. A multitude of souls trapped. I suppose it could be like a prism refracting their one image into many, but I don't think so.
Wait, did you say refracting like breaking up?
You know how if you have a prism and you hold it to the light, it shows a rainbow?
Oh yeah, I've seen that in some crystals.
It's possible the
Wait.
wardings are doing something like that, making one soul seem like many.
No, wait. When you die, I'm sorry. When you die and the soul doesn't have a dream to go to, it becomes just what? Magic? Talked about before?
A dreamless soul is absorbed back into the etheric veil, becomes part of the etheric ambient energy of the world.
Yeah, okay. But think about that. You said like a crystal breaks the light up. What if you turn it around?
Mori's brow scrunches up. I don't think that analogy works in the favor of there being one Talion behind that door.
No, I mean like
Uh,
the soul got all over the place in the sea.
I'm confused.
What if they, instead of breaking us all up into pieces, they're trying to get all the pieces into one?
recombine the energy of the veil in order to, artificially create a soul?
Well, if the soul is just out there split in pieces, maybe just trying to put them pieces back together.
No, that doesn't quite work. What I understand, when Kalira murdered Talion, she absorbed his divine essence. There shouldn't be any just sitting
Oh
around.
no, I'm not talking about Talion. I'm not talking about Talion. I'm
I mean,
talking
just
about
the souls from this temple.
the baby.
Oh,
Baby.
oh. No, the timeline doesn't match up, Ursula.
Oh, okay.
That child, if it really was Talion's, would have lived hundreds of years before Elsina took up her post here.
Yeah, but how long does it take to write out the magical stuff to make stuff like this?
A few years at most. I suppose the research to figure it out might have taken longer. But the child's soul would have already been ushered on. I wish I had the memory to think back and find it, but I try
Well,
not to remember
Okay.
specific souls like that.
I'll consider, then. This isn't a whole Italian having set this in motion, but a deranged aspect that in its madness doesn't care about getting the right soul, it just cares about getting something enough like a soul into its child's body in order to have it alive at all. Then with that reduced, in that madness, it might well take 1,000 years to be ready.
Slowly, because the dream doesn't exist and takes 1,000 years to just pluck pieces.
I don't know. This seems far-fetched, though I suppose it's possible.
Now he was a parent, even if apparently was weird, asshole, other things. There's lengths people will go. I don't think gods are any much different than that. You just have a lot more power.
I am afraid on this note I have no more insight than you.
Oh. I suppose we need to head down. And then, well, I'm loath to make a liar out of us, but if there are a multitude of souls trapped in there, we may need to fight Elsina and force our way into her laboratory.
Ah, good. Finally, we're talking sense.
May need to. It is something to consider. I am not. I'm not this party's commanding officer. I can't just order it. But let's head down. If we are to consider it, we should do so with Nahia's counsel.
August will push himself up off the bench and say, uncharacteristic as it is, for once I don't actually want to murder somebody, even when they called me a chode a few hours ago.
You really are learning.
I just kind of feel bad. I liked Elsina. She should have paid more attention to what happened to her in life. If I had, maybe I wouldn't have brought Harry back to the capital at all. Oh well. Let's go.
Let's go.
Mari will snap her fingers and produce her war helm again. Get ready for battle. You guys can head back downstairs. Find Nahia waiting in front of the door. Set out with her supplies for the ending.
Nahia,
Yeah.
did Morrigan fill you in on what she feels on the other side of that?
I was there when she mentioned some convocation of souls, which leads me to believe that you're wanting to go in.
Yes. I'm not sure if what Elsina's doing is something we should allow to finish.
I had the naive hope that she was letting free, like some terrible prison Talion once kept full of just lost souls. But,
Would she hesitate in telling us that?
maybe. I think that any Talionite would hesitate to tell anyone anything.
A fair point.
I suppose it is a naive hope.
We'll step up and give you a pat on the shoulder. Spirits must go to their rest, Nahia. Those souls
Yes.
cannot be allowed to suffer.
I know. I hate to be made a liar, though. But this oath is more important. I shall pat Hilt. I still hope it doesn't come to blows, though.
We can do her the courtesy of knocking, at least.
Sure. Walk on up and give it a big old knock. Clunk, clunk, clunk.
Alright. It's less of a knock on the door as on an invisible barrier, just a fraction of an inch in front of the door. Saris will quirk a brow as you impact it. I could take my charcoal rubbings just fine.
Oh, I'm wearing magic armor. I wonder if it's my gauntlets. I shall just slip off a gauntlet and do so again with hand.
Yeah. This time, indeed, you are able to knock on the door, but even the first blows had a resounding impact. There's a moment's hesitation before Alcina herself will step through the door, phasing, as spirits do. Furrow her brows at the lot of you. Oh good, is this the part where you kick in my door and try and murder me?
No, hopefully not. The temple is clean. Or as clean as it will get. I'll probably give it a once over before we leave again. We solved the cipher that we were looking into. Now the matter comes down to, will you tell us what you're doing, please?
If
We've
I
tried
tell
to be
you what
fair,
I'm
but we have
doing,
learned some distressing things.
fine, you go first. What have you learned?
Likely the reason for Dalmanotha's curse is down to the fact that a babe that Talion left in the Queen was aborted.
She curls her lip up. I can't say I blame Talion for that, then. Is that all?
And, well, is August still holding the book, or
I think Morgan was the last one holding it. She's got it tucked under an arm.
nod towards the book? And if Talion's last legacy in our hands as well.
Ah. I had thought that might be the Bleak Codex when I saw it, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, it is.
August, can you
Oh,
actually still cast spells? I know I could after Talion died, but considering your unique situation... August will nod. Yeah, I don't really understand it either, but I can. Guess some little part of Talion's still with us. Or he was too surprised when Clara stabbed him in the ass to take my powers away. He should have done that long before if he was ever going to. Why he wouldn't revoke them is beyond me, but very well. Well, I would offer to accompany you and perform the rite once I'm done here, but it seems you have a properly empowered paladin to use the codex.
I mean, if you would like to be the last one to send off all of these spirits, performing the act would send you in simultaneously. If you would like to make that your choice of way instead of Morgan's hand. Do not know if you prefer Talion's hallowing.
I would, actually. Feels right to be sent off by my god, but as I said, I am still doing a bit of work here.
Indeed,
I'm not
and
quite
that
ready to
work.
leave.
That does bring us to the rub, though. Now the other spirits are gone.
Not all of them.
Now enough of them are. Lady Morrigan can sense some of what you are doing, and it gives us a great disquiet.
Oh, really? And what is it the Lady Morrigan senses? I'll cross her arms and say, I sense a number of souls beyond that door. A maelstrom of them all packed into one place. Cena just nods. Yes, that's correct. There are a great many souls in here. Many of those that were killed in the leak. They got sucked into the abacus. Like a tremendous bronze sponge.
Wait,
This big, great last work you're trying to do, finishing an abacus?
I'm not finishing an abacus. It worked perfectly fine before all of this. The souls broke it, but it is mostly functional still. But to an extent, yes, what I'm doing is trying to repair an abacus.
What's the fate of those souls?
I don't know. They're trapped inside. Perhaps they're powering it.
Oh, that thing, that automatic abacus?
Yes, my husband's great work, such as it is.
Oh, so he's in there.
She nods. Part of him is, anyway. Part of most of the souls you've encountered. More or less of them.
Those who were sleeping.
Yes. Those of us who were awake when the explosion caused a gas leak retained most of our sanity, to greater or lesser extents. Really, I have to say I'm a bit miffed you sent off that dear little Miria. She was the only conversation partner I've had in centuries.
Yeah, to make sure that someone would light the home for you when you arrived.
It's very sweet. And yes. I couldn't bear to watch Colm wander the halls insane. I destroyed that part of his spirit long ago. I must admit now I regret that decision if the dream is back. I regret that very much.
I think you'll find that souls are very, very resilient. To help you get those ones out.
I'm not trying to get them out. I'm
She's
trying to get them to
in.
work.
I imagine it's what this abacus is not unlike your crown, then Tarnavak. These souls are supposed to be an intelligence that does the abacus's work for you.
Is that the case, Alcina?
It is now. When it was whole, the abacus had the spirit of Colm's father in it, the greatest mathematician of our age. It wasn't truly sapient, but it had a fragment of his soul. Much like any enchanted item, it could perform calculations. It was an oddity. No one much cared about it, except a handful of queer sages and arithmetic mongers. But now...
Bruno's like, why did the sages have to be gay? Oh, come on, brain.
Yes, they were all doing a big gay math circle jerk.
I'm so disappointed in my own brain.
She shakes her head. Now, though, they're all jumbled up in there. After August had his episode, part of Talion came here. You were right to an extent. But he left. He just babbled on about finishing my great work, and threw some spells on the abacus, and went screaming off into the night. Quite insane. It's the last I've seen of him. But now I have the residium I need to perhaps get this abominable thing working again. It's my god's last command, and I will carry it out.
Say, would a soul gem help at all?
No, the thing is a big soul gem.
Oh,
True,
so you
but we have a
just need
couple without
Residium?
any. Yeah, we have a couple without any intelligences in them at all. They're just energy.
I don't know. Could. Alas, I was a war priest, not a researcher. This is outside my area of expertise. I've done the best I could.
Gotta look at these guys. Well, I'm a powerful enchanter, and these two are, well, three here. He's currently hiding in his tin can again. Are literally scholars. You'd like we can help.
She looks at you
This
all
is
appraisingly. Brows
this is our
furrowed.
wheelhouse, and I would like to see souls at peace to boot.
I'm sure you would. You'll forgive me if I don't entirely trust the Lady Morgan not to start trying to disassemble my husband's work.
Like, if they're already been half sold, then I don't think it makes a difference. The other halves are already waiting in the dream. That would probably only add confusion.
You can practically feel Mori twitch behind you. I'll see a little frown. Fine. If you can behave yourselves, you may enter. But if you
Of course.
cause harm to my husband's work, I will fight you with every bit of my being that is left.
Okay.
Look at you all one more time and then retreats inside. A moment later,
I'm
you
gonna give
hear,
Mari a big old hug for being patient.
yeah, she is deeply unhappy, and we'll say, for the sake of diplomacy, I think I will take a page from August's book and wait outside this time.
Alright, thank you for being patient with all of this.
You're lucky I like you all so much.
Yep.
It's very difficult to contain the
Well,
crusading aspect of myself.
I
well,
understand that, yes.
we're literally doing the god's work, so
Yes,
An
but the
aspect
wrong
is still an
god.
aspect. Yeah.
but
The wrong
wait,
god and an
if we get
insane
it to
god.
well, if we get this to work and they go free, I go to rest. That means you will go to rest, right?
I don't
That's your
think
work
she
too.
means to put them to rest. She's using them like a source of energy.
Well, let me also remind you that we have a little bit of residium too.
Yeah, we have a whole bunch of nerds here. Chances are we honestly could probably slip the souls out and just put the energy in. If we can find the one shred that's a slice of a math nerd with no sentience.
Uh,
We'll
I
do what
don't
we can.
like any of this soul mongering, but do as you will.
Oh, what happened?
If it comes down to unabated torture, then she'll gesture at sword. It will not stand. Talion's last wish or not.
Or I will nod and shoo you along as the doors slowly open.
Oh, she's letting us in. Oh, God, that's frightening.
That's something
Radical.
again. Hey, I remember this library.
Yeah, we've seen this map
Yes.
like 3 times before. Woohoo! You did it. You recognized it.
It's real
With-
handy.
Yeah, look, it's the only library that has a fucking enormous pentagram in the middle. What do you want?
Yep.
It's
I wasn't
perfect for
thinking
this
about
shit.
the fucking pentagram. I'm thinking about like Sophie's Lost.
Yeah,
Big
it
fan.
was in that. I've used it in Sav&D 3 at least once. It's just a thing.
It's a nice map.
It's the
It's
one
got a-
circle magic map, magic library map.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gabriel Perker can only precisely satisfy my needs so many times.
And sometimes you just want to come back for more. This is his relatively talented missionary position. Like, you aren't just going to do missionary once and then never go back to it. Come on.
Precisely. But anyway, yes. Once the doors open, you step inside. You see a tremendous secondary library. This one full of what I think most of you will instantly recognize as nothing but spellbooks, grimoires, and scrolls. A few illusory knights stand by on guard around the entrance, but predominantly the lab is devoid of occupation, save Elsina and a tremendous statue, much larger than any you've seen before, and it's clearly suffered a great deal of damage. Bits and pieces of it have broken off and shattered, but they are being held roughly in humanoid shape by invisible tendrils of magic that will pulse and wobble once in a while. Hanging above from the ceiling, you see a number of glass beakers, vials, jars, and tubes, many of which are shattered, and those that are not are full of dust that might once have been chemicals. Elsina will gesture to the ceiling once idly, say, "When the abacus exploded, the shrapnel shattered some of the containment vials above. We were brewing healing potions and cells. Instead, we created a terrible gas that killed all of us. Ironic, isn't it? Cook a healing potion just a little too long, mix in a little sulfur,
Ugh.
and you have a terrible, terrible thing."
This is some really good stonework.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually not stone on the inside, it's a bronze cast covered in marble. It has articulated joints. She will gesture to big, enormous, like rods that have been laid out across the nearby tables and a number of colored discs. It used to be able to move the dials on its own abacus, but, well, that's all fallen apart now. You know, my husband, when we finished this thing, he took the shadow of 2 towers in different parts of the Elven Empire and used it to compute the size of the planet. It's the sort of shit that made me fall in love with him, but now I can't remember the answer or the process. I never had a head for it. He was so excited, practically tripped over himself with joy.
Oh, distance and shadows. Yeah, my son talked about that.
Colm never published a book,
Yeah.
but some of his students wrote down his teachings. Glad to see that same form of mathematics has survived. We thought it was new at the time.
I don't really understand the whole math thing that he was talking about. Like, if you go a certain distance, the shadow moves, and then at the same time every day, and it's like it moves a certain degrees. With that, you can something, and then distance.
Something, yes. Honestly, I have to count on
Don't.
my fingers to add, but a comb
Well, that
could.
counting like plus minus is easy. You need to like housework. That's
I never did housework. I was raised to ride a dragon into battle. Not much else.
what's a mate?
Shrugs. And now what magic I have has been poured into this for, what has it been, 1,000 years now? Gods, it doesn't feel like half that long. Steps
Well,
forward.
you don't look a day over 30.
Please, I was old even before all of this, before I died. I was a woman grown before my husband was even born. Had to come to terms that I'd outlive our child. But I hope she lived
Well,
through that war.
well, did you have a name?
Vela. Vela Autumnstar. We sent her home to live with the Sky Knights when we'd heard there was trouble in the north. Thought she'd be safe with my people.
Vela. Wait, Vela.
Vela.
Like Valish?
Close, although
Wait, things. Wait, have we heard that thing before? Sounds familiar.
no, she would have died of old age long ago. Just a half elf.
Well, that doesn't matter. If you died a long time ago, if we have, it sounds familiar. That's what I mean. If it sounds familiar for us, I think we've heard a name before. I think some book.
She turns and looks at you expectantly. Well, come now, you can't just leave me in suspense. You know something of my
No,
my child.
yes, Vela, Valen. Wait, Vela, Valen. Yeah, I think smart people, come on. I know we've heard Vela, Valen, like that, like somebody which,
I mean, obviously, I lived on Ervanen, but
no.
sorry, we've been
Vela,
concentrating
Vela.
on. I've been concentrating on something else here.
Valen.
Sick. Oh, that was a history. I thought that was done, so I kind of like, wow, this is gonna be real easy. Oh no.
Yeah, Augie will throw a guidance on you. Merrick can assist, and he's not super familiar on magic. And yeah, someone can do an actual proper assistance with you.
Oh, I'll help you with this Arcana, I guess.
17. I mean, it's not bad, but
I mean, Essence Steel is like a level 1 spell, so hopefully that's more than enough to fudge it a bit.
Oh, well, let me see.
Well, Hashat can do her stuff because
I'll get back to you
Magic,
guys in a moment. Right now, Saris is gonna butt in on the conversation. Say, I can't say for sure if it's the same person, but I know I met a Vela Autumn Star, at least once, before the war, about 15 years old. Alcina will nod. That's right. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she made it to Dragon Knight's Isles. Either to Lyris or one of its colonies. But unfortunately, I've also slept through until recently. If she made a name for herself after that, I haven't had the chance to hear it. Cena will just sigh.
Are they in Lord Archelon's book at all?
Have you read the thing?
I have not. This is me asking to someone who has
Oh,
actually
you mean-
sat down and read
I've read
the
these
heroic
books.
deed of Elvish Knights.
I've read all those books.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you still have it on you?
Yeah.
Sooner or later.
Okay. So yeah,
It's autographed.
you think for a moment, and you're like, does that name sound familiar at all? Flip through. And you find that there's a chapter in the book that definitely wasn't there before. It is something that has changed with the timeline, you're fairly sure. There is the last stand of the Dragon Knights. It tells you, or sorry, the Sky Knights. It tells of a heroic last battle on the island of Suncrest, whence these group of elven draconic riders made their home, and that a number of them, number of the knights bravely held off an invasion of the undead, but alas, were overwhelmed. However, they bought enough time for the clan's women and children to escape the island and sail to Lyris, where they were taken in as refugees. Alas, the magic spear Lyristane, the enchanted arm of the kings of the sky, was lost in the battle, never to be recovered. And on that note, Hashat specifically, could you roll me a history check? So you're the one who was kind of nerding out about this ages ago.
Oh,
It's
God,
being
I
rolled.
don't-
How much will a large
Yeah,
magic
yes.
circle around this thing cost in silver and resi?
Let's see. So it's 7 by 7. Amazing. Okay.
Yeah.
You're
I
100%
think
sure
that's
you've
basically-
heard the name Vela before, although it only appears in the book itself as a footnote that a Sky Knight squire by the name of Vela was one of the leaders of the group that came to Lyris and then departed again afterwards, heading back to the elven homeland. Beyond that, however, you can't. Too late.
We had a second whole book as well that's literally just about Dragon Knights of Lyris.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
she's probably also in that one.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I
did ask
misspoke
before,
earlier.
though.
The Sky Knights and the Dragon Knights of Lyris are two different groups.
Right.
The Sky Knights are an elven. Let me refer you back to the map because you've encountered stuff about the Sky Knights before.
Mm.
Back in the primary timeline. I guess this is the primary timeline now. The old timeline. Back on Suncrest, whence they came. They were an ancient elven group. I believe August has mentioned that they were like radical separatists from the primary elven empire. They had kind of gone their own way and aligned with Lyris
Oh,
in this
that
timeline.
Sky Spear is the fucking elf warlock's patron, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh shit! It is. Oh dear.
Yes. Lyrstane is Valatha's patron.
Fuck. Huh.
If we go back there and liberate that spear and bring it back to Lyris, they'd be pretty happy.
Yeah, I imagine they'd be fucking stoked. That and Valatha would be happy and probably move out there.
Probably.
And I mean, what would an elf do patroned to their heroic weapon surrounded by all these sexy dragons? I don't know how she'll cope.
I think I've read this webcomic.
Yeah, I think I wrote this webcomic.
But yeah, unfortunately, there are no Sky Knights living on Suncrest now. But you did hear about a barrow being out in the wilderness that a level 1 adventuring party went out to handle when you were there. I'm sure they're fine.
Yeah. To be fair, they did staggeringly well. They
It's
kicked
true.
that
They
ogre's
tactics
ass.
the shit out of an ogre that should have wiped them out pretty handily.
I have the firm belief that even if they couldn't handle it with that level of, like, you know, intuitive tactical thought, they will instead have actually successfully retreated.
Oh yeah, sure. When the NPCs do it, it's tactics. When the players do it, it's munchkining.
Running away is not munchkining.
That is the opposite. But yeah, so according to Archelon's book,
Obviously,
during
I'm not seeing how fast my line's up.
the latter parts of the fall of winter, there was an attack on the island. The Sky Knights had themselves a heroic last stand defending their home, but failed. The refugees left, went to Lyris. Some of them stayed there as refugees, but Vela, Autumn Star, and some others continued on back to what you would assume is Grantry or Galavos, and fell out of history.
Well, hopefully a little bit of information is better than none. And this circle is almost finished. And it was admittedly not quite as cheap as I hoped it would be, because it is pure silver.
Is there a price in the rules for that, or do you still need me to come up with one?
I don't know if maybe Magic Circle just has a price in it.
Let's find out.
It's a gander.
Magic Circle.
Worth at
100
least
GP.
100 GP. But that's a smaller
large-
circle.
Yeah, that would be a large size template, so it's...
Yeah, I think for this, like, 500 will do it.
Okay. And yeah, I'll also probably sprinkle in like 50 golden residium to glue up the cracks, since it will probably need to be a little bit stronger than usual.
Mm-hmm.
So I shall take out 500 silver. 500 and 50 residium. There we are.
All right.
I will probably
So-
even ask Ursula to go around it and make sure that this circle is perfectly circular, since apparently she is just a geometry savant. Since that was very recently established, I feel like that is not an unfair thing to ask. As a single crack might send a whole bunch of souls flying out screeching while we're trying to repair this thing, and that would be terrible.
Here. Here. And some slight non-circle part.
I will sprinkle in extra residium. There we go. I'm confident with 10 GP. Curse your roleplay! You could have just said it was fine! Oh, well, no,
I mean,
that's
it's
fair.
not like
No,
most of
that's
us are
just how
fucking
it is.
perfectionists.
No, exactly. That's fine.
All right. So, walk me through exactly what the plan is.
Big magic circle around the Imago.
Mm-hmm.
Jank up a scroll of essence steel to basically just set all the souls free from this thing and leave them just swarming around inside the magic circle. And then just cheat and use basic bitch mending cantrip on this thing until it is whole. While it is, not full of souls. Grab the slice of like magician, whatever the heck, while another caster is woogling at these souls to keep them distracted. And then once that's done, chuck in a big magic gem for extra essence, using the archivist one probably. And then the rest can go free for Mori to scoop home.
Okay.
I can help with the mending part.
Yeah. That'll probably help with the distract all the souls part.
While you're discussing this plan, Elsina will give August a shove off. Say, right, what can I do to help?
Can you find that slice of Malcolm's father?
He nods.
Yep, all I have to do is guide it right back into the Imago. You have Holy Symbol and you have Residium, so that should not be so hard for you.
All right.
It might not be very comfortable because you'll have to be sat inside the magic circle while this is going on.
You say uncomfortable. That's probably be the best thing I've ever felt, or at least in the last 1,000 years.
Well, okay, yeah, there'll be a lot of juice flying around, but you'll also be surrounded by a lot of tattered souls. And I will also be stood to the side, being very distracting to you. So you will have to concentrate.
Well, I can but try.
Okay.
Takes a deep breath, steps up to the statue, puts a hand on it. Just a bit longer, Holm, and you'll be free.
Oh, if I still have Voron on my shoulders, I'll be like, oh, you can plug your ears. This is going to be so loud for Mari. I bet she can hear every goddamn soul.
Yep. Those of you near the back can see Mori has, abandoned the huffy act and is just peeking in through the door watching. So yeah, let's see. I guess whoever's going to be distracting the souls, give me either a performance, a deception, or an arcana check. And whoever is doing the mending, give me either a relevant tool check to help guide it along, or just an arcana check.
Oh, hey, that's perfect. I can help.
Yeah, I'll distract the souls,
tool
and
check,
I'll
you
use a
say?
deception.
Yeah, if you have something that's relevant to repairing giant statue. Hey, it is in fact
Nice.
a bronze core in there, so that'll work. And Elsina will come along and assist you as well.
Okay. Who can help me with a deception on these souls?
I'm
Can I have
right
a
next to you.
Szooth would actually, though. He can see spirits perfectly fine. Fortunately, I don't know that Ursula would be able to help much with spirit wuju.
Probably not in this case.
Szooth canonically is fucked with spirits a whole lot.
I would have spoke up louder, but I don't have deception, so
Yeah, I just need assistance. My deception is fucking cranked. I'm just scared of rolling terribly. All right. Oh, I can't lack.
Roll a d4 for one of the 3 guidance casters throwing that on you.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Oh, thank fuck.
Fortunately, you did roll 4. Oh, hey.
Yeah, you did roll not great, but
That made the number not the worst.
It made
Hey,
it
if
not
I
the
end up
worst
with an
indeed.
exhaustion, I'll take it. There are worse fates in store.
Yeah, it's probably not going to be an exhaustion. So
Okay.
Hashat is a very adept repairwoman when it comes to this thing. She is a blacksmith, and it is inside of stone, and it is filled with magic. This is basically Hashat's jam all packed into one. You, on the other hand, are having a great deal of trouble. Once you unleash the souls from inside, they come pouring out, and you have a great deal of difficulty dealing with what feels like a tornado of spectral energy swirling and swirling around you. I'm just going to throw this on you right quick. This will be an automatic hit.
Makes
So, yeah.
sense.
A blast of energy slams into your physical flesh, but you have suffered worse, and you are constitute, and you are able to start distracting the souls. However, alas, they are rebellious and insane after so long tore apart and trapped, intermingling with one another. Nahia and Szooth, would you both give me wisdom saving throws? You are exposed to the hysterical screams and mad babblings of these ancient sages.
Anyone got inspiration for us? I'm tapped. I think
I do.
actually, honestly, for once we're all. Oh, are you not tapped?
No, I got the single.
Sweet.
Since I wasn't allowed to use it on Hashat, so. Was that easier?
Szooth, what's your wisdom save? Do you need it more than me? I'm rocking a 4.
I'm rocking a 4. I was trying to check on 5e to see if I got that thing where I can use my key for all my saves. I don't think I did though.
No.
Probably not.
Oh no, that's 15th level. Damn it, that's 14th level.
That's quite a ways away.
Yeah. What was the DC again?
You don't know,
Don't know
but
yet.
that's a pretty decent roll.
Pretty decent roll.
Ooh, 22. Thank you very much.
Okay. The two of you are able to keep your wits about you, tuning out the worst of it, although your ears are left ringing and your very souls tremble with the touch of the abyss upon it. Okay, you're going to feed them both heroism potions, so you now both have the effects of the bless spell. Leave.
Thank you very much.
Alright, so as that is happening, Hashat on the other side, while the souls are moving around Nahia and Szooth, you feel a presence still inside the statue, a solitary, lone intelligence. Not truly sapient, but you can feel it nevertheless reaching out and touching your mind. Could you make a charisma saving throw?
Okay. I don't have the bless on me, I don't think. So no, I don't.
Now you do.
That off. Okay, I do.
Elsina will, in fact, cast Bless on you once she too feels this malign presence.
Jesus Christ! Oh yeah, you're a sorcerer!
Yeah.
Oh, ow, so Elsina, honey. She's got a plus. Presumably she also blessed herself.
Yes, so she does have a 1d4. Okay. Unfortunately, that is well below the DC.
That is unfortunate.
Ow.
It is, so her concentration on the Bless spell will end, and she's going to get hurt.
Oh no, double unfortunate.
Hopefully she's got a reasonable health pool.
She has an unbelievable number of hit points.
Wait,
That's
what?
good. And she was a boss, remember?
Oh, right.
Yes, she is. She's
She's
a
like
boss.
She's like a CR16 wraith.
Sorry, I guess I'm too used to anime where as soon as the bad guys become heroes, they get down leveled.
No. I mean, to be fair, that happened to August only because he lost his cool undead template. She still has hers.
Yeah, she is. She is a legendary wraith. She is very, very strong. So, Unfortunately,
Wait.
What?
It's a legendary raid. He has legendary save.
that is technically true. She's not going
Oh
to use
my
it
God.
on this, though. Fears there might be worse coming. So yeah, as the two of you are standing there, Hashat, you resist this probing force, but Alcina, something inside her breaks for a moment, and the statue moves, its articulated joints groaning for the first time in centuries, and it takes a big haymaker swing at Alcina, sending her flying back. She
Oh.
slams into a bookcase, and even incorporeal as she is, for a moment she is physical and real, charged by magic, and the bookshelf shudders with her form's impact before she sinks into it, dazed. Yeah, the statue's fist rears back as if to make another strike on the shot. What do any of you do?
Don't get hit. I know the. Wait, I'm telling you that.
I activate rage, and I chain the fucking arm
Okay. Yeah.
to hold it.
Make an athletics check.
Yeah, I guess I'll follow suit after. I'll get the other arm.
Sure, you can
Why don't you
assist.
help him with the souls? Or is that check done?
This is what's happening in response to this. The physical statue had to punch somebody.
Okay.
I can just hop in and start wrestling an arm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So a lot of you can give Ursula assistance on this check. Uh-oh.
To round so
Woo!
Oh no.
I think Ursula just got
Yoink.
punched as well.
Yeah. The statue is tremendous, and it is stronger than hell, even with the soul battery being temporarily drained from it. Ursula, you're going to get thoroughly punched away. It's an auto hit.
or
Not a whole lot of
Okay.
damage, but you do get thrown across. Tarn
I do not
and
get thrown
Szooth,
across,
you are
because
not injured, but you are similarly dazed for a moment as the statue begins animating itself. Nahia, you have the most direct link on the souls powering this thing. Do you have any idea of what you might do in this instance?
See the
There's slipping
power
away
line.
from you.
I'm gonna hymn him a hymn. Sing him a song.
Okay, try and
Calm
calm
with
down the spirits
soothing.
inside.
Yep, I'm gonna soothe him as opposed to wrangle him, since wrangling appears to be not working.
Okay.
I just got this feeling.
Deep inside of me.
Nice.
Statue slowly stop.
and for the 1st of September,
All right. The statue lowers its fist a moment and turns towards you. This time you feel that singular former intellect inside. Not sapient, but tremendously intelligent, probing at you. Make a charisma save, Nahia and Szooth, please.
Okay.
It's I could feel something probing at me, right?
Yeah. You can
Yes.
feel like a spirit reaching at your mind.
Anyone's gonna be confident enough to talk to the spirit.
All right, well,
But I
what are you trying to
don't-
say?
Okay, so I can talk to it without having to fail the save.
Yeah, you have a moment before it like latches to your mind to try and say something to it.
Hi there. Can we calm down and have a conversation?
He's just trying to confuse it.
I'm trying not to get
Alas,
punched.
that does not throw its attentions.
This thing is a mathematician. Give it a very complicated math problem.
Fuck, that's really good.
That is really smart. But Szooth, make a charisma save.
Good luck, dude.
No. Did
Well,
you
we're
know?
heroism.
Did you know dragon wings are aerodynamically impossible?
Charisma. Oh no.
Bless. Don't forget a
Oh.
D4 on that. Might help. Ooh, 16.
16.
I don't think it will.
No, it was even a great heroism.
It was, alas. Okay, so the statue reaches into your mind, Szooth, and for a moment, well, I didn't mean to hit initiative, but I'll keep that if this does descend into an outright fight. Your mind is thrown into a warp. All you see around you are pillars of numbers swirling in a miasma that makes it impossible to think for a moment. You are temporarily stunned and left reeling. And the rest of you can see the statue.
Savin, I'm
Sorry,
about to fucking stab you.
The rest of you see the statue temporarily take on a draconic aspect. You see spectral wings appear behind it, and flame gouts from its tremendous bronze mouth. Saris will look towards Tarn and say, "You think we can dragon it?"
What do you mean dragon it?
I don't know, but if it's looking
I
like
know
a
how to slow it
dragon-
down. I'm gonna reach in my bag and pull out one of Radomir's old ledgers recovered from his vault, and I'm gonna just chuck it in. Balance that book!
Now, when you say dragon it to Szooth, he assumes you just want to jump up and like that.
I mean, that's... The statue is anatomically correct under there. I guess you could.
Yeah. I'm gonna chuck it a giant business ledger and tell it to balance that book.
It
Well, damn.
balances so good, but it does take time, which will give you all the chance to do something while it's distracted. As it picks up the huge rods of its abacus and begins at blinding speed shuffling discs around.
How far are we with repairing this thing?
You think you're about half.
Guess we just have to do more of that. Save.
I don't know.
I'll go back to distracting souls with Szooth and Hashat go back to repairs.
Oh no, I have the best question to ask it. Can it calculate all the money I've spent Nahia?
If you can give it
Cool.
actual receipts.
I do keep a personal accounts book, but I actually do personally
guys
balance
still
my
have-
books, thank you.
Do you guys still have your tax returns?
You just keep the receipts
Oh
around
my
to show.
God.
You just keep the receipts around to show to Szooth passive aggressively.
Ursula does keep her tax returns.
It's true, Tarn and Ursula both have tax statements from
Hey,
Avara.
Can you do more taxes?
I have tax statements. I have detailed inventory of everything I've gained. Because I spent fucking 5 decades as a fucking maid doing, like writing everything down, like householding, inventory management, all that shit. I have everything written down. We are literally throwing the book.
Yeah, you guys are just
outside.
throwing math problems at this fucking nerd golem, trying to distract it. And it is
Yeah, I think-
fulfilling its purpose for
Yeah.
now.
Good luck on your
But-
next blacksmithing, Inanna.
Yes. I'm going to, in anticipation for more things going wrong, things that might go wrong, I'm going to brace myself and put a rune on the ground under my feet, the Indomitable Stand, so I have advantage on ability checks, that saving throws that for forced movement. Just in
Clever.
case this thing
Clever.
punches me.
Yeah, real clever.
You shouldn't be the one saying this, but damn, is this statue a nerd?
Alright, so a blacksmithing check.
Hold on one second. Zeus, does a 22 hit you?
You know, I'll take that.
Even while it's still doing math, just a number of bits of like floating bronze and marble just form together into a fist, just slam into Szooth's face, and he gets thrown back.
No, I just imagine.
This guy
I'm
would
just
definitely go to
imagining
Wizard
it
Fight Club.
fucking.
This guy would own
Hey,
Wizard
think
Fight
about
Club.
this. It's doing all the math, and then it does the whole Hulk punches Thor thing after downing the giant thing in the Avengers movie. Just
Yeah, that's what-
straight side punch.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
26. Nice.
All right, and August is going to throw a new bless on Hashat and Elsina
Oh,
because
right.
she's out of it for a moment.
Haha! I'm a
Okay,
nerd
so
too. I'm
let's see.
resistant to
So the
violence.
one other blacksmithing check.
Actually, he can throw it on all 3 of these nerds.
Okay, here we go. 1. Ooh!
Oh, 30. Jesus.
31.
Christ.
A crit.
Awesome, dude. Advantage. Oh, shit.
Who was giving Hashat advantage in this case? She had
Ursula, because she's a crafter, I thought.
Ursula was feeding this thing math problems to distract
Oh,
it.
right. Yes, sorry. Yeah, so it's just a 30. Just a 30.
Yeah, just a 30.
It's only
Hashat.
30.
How will
Only
you
30.
cope?
All right. So yes, Hashat is able to start like clambering up onto this thing and hammering its face back together. You use a little bit of magic to heat up pieces and melt them back into place. It's not the prettiest thing you've ever done, but it is efficient for time, which is what's important, it turns out, for this automated abacus
Valera-
is indeed very, very fast at doing math.
Valera knows heat metal.
Hell yeah. She can actually like significantly help with the interior of this thing while you're working on the bronze, or rather on the marble. She can work on the bronze core. So at this point, Elsina and Szooth have kind of regained their wits, able to get back in. However, Hashat, while you are crawling up on this thing, you feel that intelligence inside, deadened though it is fighting against being silenced. The statue, once it's finished with its math problems, grips that iron rod and it tries to pry you off of itself. Would you kindly give me a strength saving throw or an athletics check?
Hashat can't be pried off. She stood on the thing.
No, I have an. I have advantage against
Oh,
it.
just advantage.
Yeah, let's see. Advantage on ability checks and saving throws to avoid forced movement or knockdowns.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so an athletics check, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh!
Oh, the Swole army live on.
28.
This thing is massively strong, though, but alas, it
You are
can't bring the
stronger.
full might of itself to bear against you. Oh, it got real fucking close, though.
Oh.
But you dig your hooves in, empowered by your rune, and grip this thing as hard as you can.
Oh god, poor Elsina's gonna get the vapor. She stood behind the mighty thighs of Hashat while
Yeah,
they're at work.
I thought about making the joke that like Elsina's just standing under you while you're clinging to this thing, just looking up like, So he's gonna
Oh,
ghost
yeah,
fly
we've
up.
all seen those thighs. Like, they're glorious.
Elsina's sexuality takes like 50 psychic damage. She's gonna fly up onto this thing and continue helping. Soul nerds. The spirits around you are starting to calm down. They're receiving your commands. They are out of the spell of that intelligence in the statue. Now it is time to guide them on. One of you please make a religion check, or perhaps something else to guide these souls on.
I'm thinking religion, unless you've got a good idea. Anything at all, Daciel?
Religion. I was muted.
Religion. Okay. What is your religion check? Because it's possibly higher than mine. If you're trained in it at all.
Szooth is not trained in religion.
Oh, and I'm a 4.
What was the other option? This is
If you could think of anything that might work for trying to ferry these souls out of the circle safely.
Arcana.
Yeah, that could work.
Arcana? Yeah. I'll assist you with an Arcana if you'd like. You can get your key fists in across the bridge.
Hell
Yeah, that was the plan.
Sounds
I assume
good.
I can do anything with the spirits because I'm playing with my spirit hands, but
Yeah, you can interact with the spirits, and you can try and like actually push them out through the veil back into the owl dimension.
yeah.
Into
Especially
the
since I can use
Shovelverse. That's where I was trying to go with that.
Shovelverse, of course.
yeah, especially
Yeah, I'll give you the assistance. You go for it.
that technically be athletics with wisdom.
Yeah, sure, that makes sense to me. Wisdom plus your athletics training bonus.
Half athletics training is the thing. I'll take the Arcana. I was just saying since you'll be pushing it out.
Yeah, sure, Arcana's fine too.
Okay, I'll just use my wisdom instead of
Yeah, sure.
or okay. I'll just roll it.
And again
Right.
for assistance.
Oof.
17 and a D4.
Okay.
21.
Hey,
God, the fucking actual D4s have been sick for this
yeah,
test.
no, this has been the
The clutchest the littlest D4 that could.
Fucking August has just sat there every round just spamming guidance at people.
and he's doing the most while doing it.
Yeah, no, yeah, that whole ass, like the D4s have been just absolutely crushing it.
Alright, so indeed the spirits find their way to their rest. One by one, Szooth is able to manually guide them into the veil, almost as if ripping them apart back into their constituent energies and dissipating them. Piece by piece, one by one, they go, and as they do, the animus of the statue begins to dwindle and fade. And before long, there is naught left but the old soul of Malcolm's father inside, that original soul stone. But the intelligence inside seems now defeated, almost sad, if it could express any true emotions. The grip that had been trying to find purchase on your minds recedes, and with a groan of metallic effort, the thing picks up its abacus rods and begins to reassemble them piece by piece. The statue now looks whole again, no flying bits and pieces, and Hashat, you are able to get the last of the pieces of stone just as Valeria melts the bronze back into shape, and Elsina does what she can to make it look right, to restore it to its original appearance, correcting the details. And the last of the spirits fade away around it. Elsina will...
Nahia's gonna speak too loudly because she's been deafened by souls. Did it work then?
Elsina just gives you a thumbs up across the statue, and she flies back down. Says
Okay, good. I think I'm deaf.
He says to Hashat, I'm almost sad. I never once felt home in there. Just a magnitude of spirits all maddened. God, what a waste. Takes off.
Can I make a test to have noticed Colm as he passed by the Szooth, the Szooth passage?
I guess you did see a picture of him. Yeah, you can make a perception test.
Well, I do love me perceptions. Just pen. I don't have any
No,
bonuses.
there's too much of a wild maelstrom. Sina will fly over to you, and she puts a finger to your forehead, and you can hear her clearly in your mind. You said you had another soul stone you wish to feed this thing.
Oh, yes, this one is just essence, no soul, so it should just be fuel. Here you go. You are welcome to make the last repair, and I shall hand over the Archivist stone.
Right. She will fly up to the head of the thing and open up its crown, which you can see has several slots in it, one of which is occupied by a tiny red gemstone. She will slot the Archivist in there next to it, reseal the chamber. The statue shudders once. Its shoulders seem to slump, relaxing. It sets the now repaired abacus down at its feet and goes still. Saris takes... Oh, go ahead.
Wouldn't like giving that archivist something that is specifically for the type of mathematical work and
Yeah,
storage?
it seemed incredibly fitting. That's why I picked that one. Plus, he was also one of the highest CRs amongst our group of stones.
No, but it's not that. It's just, wouldn't that then upgrade the previous one that was there from like barely sapient to proper?
No, because it's just essence, no soul. Just power, just juice.
Yeah, neither of these are intelligence soul stones. They are just power, the machine's workings. And indeed, Saris will finish scribing out another old math problem, stick it into the statue's hand. It will begin working silently but reliably, and after a few moments, Saris will step back and read the finished abacus positions. Huh. I wish I knew more about math, but I think that's probably pretty impressive. I think it's working. Step back and fist bump Tarn. Dragging the hell out of it.
Hell yeah.
What does that even mean?
I have no idea.
Figure it out together.
Alcina will step back and run her hands through her hair, shaking out her braids. And so it's finished. Talian's last command for an abacus. At least some part of Holmes' research will live on. Thank you, all of you, for your help. I admit I am not sure if I could have finished this all by myself, now having seen what was required.
I mean, there might have been a better way to do it. Still speaking too loudly, but I don't want to to shout into my microphone.
Perhaps continuing to bind my husband and former friend's souls here. I confess I was never fond of the idea, but Italians will be done. He's just gonna take a moment and sit down on the edge of the circular table here and reaches out and puts a hand on the statue. It makes no motion to respond. Just cold stone again.
This place will be restored in time.
Will it?
It has been essentially cleansed, and the Mother Goddess at the very least is aware that this place has been cleaned and used and seen by the faithful. It will be inhabited again, at least one half of it, and I would be surprised if all of this was left to dust and rot. It would be a terrible waste of a legacy.
I suppose.
And then, at the same time, that will mean, mathematicians and scholars will come to visit. Although they will not come for religious reasons, they will at least come to admire and take part in the efforts of this last work. Just something approaching a legacy, I would say. More so than many others achieve.
Indeed. I suppose with no god to hallow it, seeing this temple turned into a school of some sort would be a fitting continuation of what we did here. At least what Malcolm had wanted.
He sounds like he was a very nice nerd and would have totally loved the idea.
It was the nicest of nerds. And you could get him to talk for more than 5 minutes about anything other than math.
Right, I am covered in dust and I miss the sun. Awkwardly step over. I'll find a bookcase and then lift it up right while I'm at it. Just, might as well. It would be rude not to. And then head outside everyone.
Cena just kind of watches you go, and once you're out of earshot, says to the rest of you, I thought she was going to put me down now.
You agreed to do that ritual, so, right? Still want to do that?
Yes, the Dalmanotha thing. That's
It's
right.
hallowing, yeah.
Almost forgotten in the excitement. Yes, of course, I'll still help you. That's the least I can do.
And you did say that was how you would prefer to go.
It is. Still, seeing Morganites so restrained is strange.
Well, she is, it's important. She finds it important to respect the wishes of the deceased.
Well, couldn't you cast it on this place? Just to
If
hallow
she
it?
did that, then she would disappear now. But I suppose that is true. You could hallow this place, and all the spirits could go pass on as well.
It's true, we could hallow this ground again, though. Frankly, I don't see much point in hallowing a temple to a dead god.
One last duty.
It just seems like a waste if Morgan or Wovar are going to come claim it, but I will leave it to you and your friends to decide when my end comes. I am both eager and terrified to see Golem again, if he made it to Morgan's afterlife or not. Confess I do not particularly hate this existence of mine.
There are worse fates, but it seems like you've had enough of this world.
I have, and yet I was not particularly old for an elf. I confess I feel I had much more to live for. Had so much time wasted here for this. Sat waiting here for, I suppose, you all. I don't know, I'm all melancholy now. Don't pay me any mind. Perhaps I ought to go get a little sun myself.
Yeah.
You could probably go and see the place where her actual body is buried. I imagine she'd last in the sun without getting disintegrated if she were like in its radius.
Yeah, actually, that sounds like a nice idea. She'll go up and visit her own grave.
And her husband's too.
Yeah. Nahia, you're up there when she arrives. It's probably getting towards sunset now. She winces a bit as the sun strikes her incorporeal form, but does no harm to her as she strides out. She will take a knee next to where you left Malcolm, and she will place down her holy symbol on her own remains, give the armor one last pat, says a few things in ancient Elvish, just sits down, watches the sunset.
Oh no, August has feelings. Oh no, August, don't let out like a cabbagey old man fart. That's the worst.
That would be a terrible mood killer.
No.
Yeah. Good job not having to fight the big scary boss.
Stone shape.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, D&D does not allow things like that actually shape stone
It's so
because
sad.
obviously players would just use it to
They would
tear
abuse
apart
it.
dungeon walls, so they can't. So they're not allowed to have that kind of a spell in here.
Boo.
I could make a wall of stone.
Yeah, that'll work. And then we could ask Ursula nicely
Ursula
to
could stone cut it into something nice.
yeah,
Yeah.
Ursula, could you help us? We're going to make a little shrine to go with their two buried graves and do like an indented stone wall and put their family portrait in it so that it's shielded from the weather. A little standing
Yeah, I
little
could do an
standing
enclosure,
shrine.
yeah.
Yeah, a standing shrine for their little burial site. And on the back, scribe, in loving memory, and probably ask Elsina to record her priestesses and priests.
Yeah, she will do so. She remembers all their names, all the way down to her little candle maiden.
Yep. I think that's a nice and fitting landmark.
By the time she's done, you will hear a soft choking noise from the wraith, and she will wordlessly just turn around and go back inside.
Oh, poor baby.
Well, she leaves. August is gonna walk up to the lot of you with his thumbs tucked through his belt, and a melancholy expression on his face. Oh, I was kind of hoping we could find some way to fix this sword of mine here, but there's no hallowing left. Maybe when you all are done, I'll stop by Dalmanotha. They had a temple battalion somewhere in there.
They have a great big pantheon in there, yeah?
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh, it sounded like that was where we were going next.
Maybe you. I've got some business that's come up. Gonna have to bow out for a bit.
Nothing too bad, I hope.
No, just there's something I need to look into for a bit. It shouldn't be long, but I'll catch up with you when you head to Dalmanotha. I think there's a teleportation circle somewhere near there.
There is one in Dalmanotha.
Oh, there isn't.
Isn't there?
Actually, yeah, there
Swear.
is. Pretty sure.
Oh, well, let me... I
Yeah.
forget.
I think Kina actually got
me
wrote it
see.
down. No, it was Nahia that wrote down the address for it in the little book.
Yep, it's on my list.
All right.
Maneuver is
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Give
it
me-
was like
Give me that.
it was
Yeah,
around where
here.
it was around where we met like the spoopy vizier man.
There you go. That's
I must have been
Nahia's
distracted.
list of magic circles.
Must have been distracted. Please let me look at your notes.
There they are.
August will also just kind of peer over. Oh, that saves me some walking. I'll just write that down. All right.
Yep.
Yeah, just throw me a sending or something before you go hallowing the place, all right?
Sure.
Right. I'll see you guys later.
Safe travels, August.
Take care of yourself, old man.
Don't die yet.
Well, aren't we
Please.
going back to tower?
Do you need to? Just teleport to Dalmanotha,
We can
apparently.
teleport. Yeah, we can teleport from anywhere.
I thought we were going to try and go to what's it place?
Senator.
Yes.
Oh, that was the plan originally, but
Suppose we could just go to Manotha first.
I
What's another?
I can
Transportation?
take Elsena with me if you have more pressing business.
We should probably make sure that there's no dragon cultist family murder.
What?
The knight.
That Lyris knight that's hunting those two. He
Oh,
needs to be called off.
right.
They won't relax until this
Right.
little butterbean is returned. Gesture at the Saris.
Yes.
Do a wiggle.
my instincts are telling me that it won't be so simple. And if we want to free the people of Dalmanotha, we ought to do that first.
Yeah. Okay.
Sure.
If you're certain. I'm sure Saris wouldn't mind a little bit more adventuring detour and a chance to view yet another random ancient library, even if it's in a slightly smaller side.
Yeah. Sarah will kind of rub the back of her head and say, I'll be honest, I don't really want to go to the Holy City. I mean, I know I have to. I don't want
Don't want to see
Rajan to
Graham
get
Graham?
murdered, but I've never met Senatrea herself. She was long dead before I was born, and the idea of going back there while I'm sort of stuck in this form isn't terribly appealing. Don't want my
Oh.
first interaction with her to be, Grandma, please uncurse me, help.
I mean, you don't have. I mean, if anything, if you turn up and then turn down her assistance, sure that you want to do it yourself, I think she'd be even prouder.
I
She
guess
is your
that's true.
Grams. You don't have to accept her help. You can instead just tell her that you're doing well
Oh,
and that you
please,
will
she'll
figure it
probably
out.
just cast Wish on me.
Well, tell her that would be cheating and not allowed. And if she does that, she'll have to
Wait.
think up some kind of different other interesting curse.
Wait, what?
What?
Never mind.
If
It's the
there's
name of it
just
is
a
the name of
wish
it is the name of a very specific spell, Ursula. A very powerful, dangerous, and nearly impossible one.
It's the use of wish magic is how the gods shape and maintain the world. It's Senatrea's greatest power. At least it was.
I suspect it still is. I don't think she became any less made of Resilium.
No, but a lot of the world did.
Good point. Well, I mean, even if she can't shape the world, she can probably shape everything in front of her. So yeah, she'll have to tell her, no shortcuts. I'm sure she'd be very proud to hear it.
Right. I mean, I don't necessarily mind getting my shape-shifting powers back, but turning down grandmother's help would make me feel like a proper adult dragon and not a whiny little baby.
Yes.
She nods to herself, set on her course.
Excellent.
I'll just pat her on the shoulder. I don't think there's any danger of you being seen as a baby.
Whoa, rude.
Oh, please, Senatray is thousands of years old. I'm not even 100. Well, I haven't experienced 100 years.
Yeah, I guess actually you've been alive for longer than Senatrea by a twisted logic, but just, not cohesive for as much of it.
Works her head. No, Senatray is much older, even setting aside that 1,000 years of me being unconscious. She was ancient long before I was born.
I wouldn't lead with that.
Ah, yes, grandmother, you're looking fantastic for 10,000 years old. You barely look past 1,000. Yeah. I'm sure she'll appreciate that.
Absolutely. We should also bring cookies.
Don't
It's
grandmothers make
to
cookies
see
for you?
her.
Oh, please. There actually is not a single grandmother in the world who is not delighted when, the little ones come by and visit with treats for them. Make them feel very loved.
Going to learn how to cook.
Yeah. Well, it's either that or, actually, to be fair, I had a grandma who liked it when we came over and brought fresh moonshine.
Alright, I definitely don't want to get a Residium Dragon drunk.
I don't think it can. You could just pick a nice liquor, and then maybe
Can
she
I-
would give you cookies in return for booze.
I
That's what
assure
I
you
got.
dragons are perfectly capable of getting drunk.
But can a god dragon get drunk? Can deities get drunk? Like actually drunk?
And surely it would take a great deal to actually get drunk.
Senator is just
depends on-
secretly the world's cheapest date.
How large her humanoid form is, I don't actually know. She's
I'd
my size,
assume it-
probably not.
Yeah, I'd assume at least larger than your mother's humanoid form.
That's what the stories say, but then again, I know statues of me that are much larger than I am. Stop! I
Nahia
chose
will
this form when I
bouncily.
had to interact with humans a lot.
That's a lovely form as well. I think it's incredibly adorable and attractive. It's just very amusing when statues keep making people more curvaceous. But then I live in a realm with a religious dogma where we can't go over a certain size, lest we impede our god's appearance.
Yes, well,
artistic liberty and flattery.
Yeah, again, except ours is
Yeah.
dogma because our goddess cannot stand next to a statue more fertile than her.
Is that why when
Yeah.
Ursula held up that
Yes.
statue?
Yep.
Oh.
There's a
It's supposed to
maximum. Yeah, yeah, it is. It was. I am not mentioning that to her because that's gonna be much more fun as a surprise.
It would be funnier as a surprise.
Yes, there's indeed we have like actually recorded, I believe, in a whole bunch of artisans' books back in Pergolith. And here in Navarra, even about the recommended. It's recommended but air quotes. Bust, hip, butt.
can't believe that's actually a thing. I thought Mithrin priests were just making that up.
Nope. They're called the holy
Right.
numbers.
Oh,
What if you're
numbers.
naturally bigger than that? Do you use magic to shrink?
Oh no, we can be bigger ourselves. It's just depictions of the goddess.
Oh, okay.
Yes, changing the size of a depiction to the picture of the goddess means that if there were any kind of visiting aspect or illusion or I don't know if you've seen the Holy Guardian spell.
Right. Well, no one seems to show me that courtesy, but whatever.
Obviously, you
Suppose
need to get magical bust expansion powers attached to. I
I
don't know.
could do that if I had my shapeshifting powers back, but
I mean, I could do that if you stood still for a few seconds long enough for me to cast massive. No, never mind.
it's awkward enough being a sex symbol in statuary. I don't really want to be one in person.
Oh, probably for the best not.
I don't want to think about how many nerds have. You know what? Never mind. Gonna start walking to where we're going next now. Where are we going?
Okay.
I
Dalmanotha, was
Dalmanotha.
it?
think we're going to Dalmanotha now.
Okay. Let me, is there anything stopping us from just going now?
No,
Well,
nothing at all. I'm pretty sure I can carry Elcina around in my shadow. She's
Do you
alright.
need to?
Oh no, yeah, we just teleport straight there. I guess we go from indoor to indoor.
She's a wraith. She doesn't discorporate in the sun.
Yeah, but a long
it's
journey
night.
through the sun. Whatever. Fucking, it's been a long day.
Yeah, you saw Elsina just walk out into
I
the
would
sunlight. She's
not. I would.
fine.
Yeah.
I do not believe it would be wise to go today. We should go back to the Dale, and rest, and go there tomorrow, or at least after we have rested.
Okay. Question: do we have to go to the Dale?
I suppose we could just set up camp outside, but the Dale's like 3 hours away.
No, it's like a whole fucking day away, even with my speed.
Is it?
Yeah, it is about a day away, though it'll
Oh.
be less time going down the mountain if you jump.
If we just jump.
I mean, I say that ironically, but also I'm sure one of you
Wait
has
a
feather
second.
fall, and if not,
Hold on
Elsina
a
probably can
second.
prepare it.
Wait.
Szooth to survive that shit default.
Yeah, Szooth would be fine.
Some of
gonna
us
get to-
have wings as well.
Exactly.
Look, some of us just jumped off. Some of us just jumped off cliffs till we were resistant to gravity.
Look at the last one. Look at the last one.
Duration up to an hour. I mean, half damage from infinite damage is still infinite damage. You will
Yeah,
die.
this is jumping off a mountain.
Oh.
However, I guess you could make a bunch of smaller jumps and just hurt yourself a little bit. But yeah, you probably just want to cast Featherfall, which
Pretty fair.
let's see, is that a cleric spell? Because if so, Alcina can just prep it.
Or we could just camp outside for a bit.
Yeah, I mean,
And then-
whatever.
Why
go down to
camp
the dale.
outside there? We can camp inside.
This place gives me the heebie-jeebies.
We'll just go to the blessed part
Hard
then.
sorcerer.
Calm
Okay,
down.
no.
It's also more secure in case big ass fucker figures out where the fuck we are somehow.
Did we ever find out what all those
Hey.
like weird archers were? Ones that shot at us?
Nobody asked.
It was an illusion, just a defense mechanism.
Yeah, Tarn figured out
Oh.
their illusions. I don't know if he ever shared it.
I did.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, there you go. Let's see. You're in the fucking wizard library. Saris will tap one of you to come help her, and yep, nope, never mind. Saris will look around, but alas, the library is too dense for her to find just like a Featherfall scroll sitting around.
Whatever. Let's just rest up for a bit then, and then we'll go. 'Cause I actually don't have any 5th level spell slots or 6th level spell slots. I'd have to consume my lower level ones. And just remember, like, we should prepare to get rumbled when we are going to do this, because boy, does this spell definitely make every undead in its area aware of what's going on.
Well,
And Hallow takes a while to cast.
how long?
I believe it's 24 hours.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It's a big, mighty ritual.
Okay, if, where are we casting it from? The
24
fucking
hours.
sanctified... Yeah.
I would say
Where
the
are we casting
Pantheon.
it from? Okay. If we... Okay. Let me think. Give me like 30 seconds.
Although, if our theory is correct, the Queen's bedchambers might actually be the real epicenter.
Pantheon is part of the structure, right? You said you only
Yeah.
get the structure.
I mean, I suppose so. I would yes.
Let me just pop open the maps real quick here. So
Yes.
unless you want to just like cast it in a random hallway somewhere, your options are the palace gates, the promenade, the public pool, the archive, the Pantheon, the throne room, or I guess the royal bedchambers. I don't have a map for that, but I can make one very easily.
That
No,
would
I think Pantheon because I get an idea. I'll give it and I'll share it with you. I think it's a stupid idea, but it might actually work. Mage Bane paste.
wouldn't that just be counterproductive?
Well, they can't really get through it, remember, because it's made for
Well, what about
everything
the
that is
hallowing
any form of
though?
magic.
That would just disrupt the hallow.
Yeah, but no, if we cast it, if we smear the walls so they can't get through the fucking walls and ceiling, the floor is fucking hallowed already, remember, so they can't get through the floor. So
I mean, okay, so here's the
this
thing.
way,
You wouldn't want to Mage Bane any of the building's surfaces because the hallowing is, quote unquote, the whole building. If you put any consecutive breaks on that, you fuck that up. But you could make barricades and blockades, like Mage Bane paste a table, you put a table down, then you have a barricade.
I was thinking like that, but the thing is, it's like, it takes 24 fucking hours to actually cast it. That's what I mean.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long time.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It will wear off after like several hours, but that's several hours of not getting fucking through.
I prefer a different way of constraining the spirits.
I would think holy water would be of more use than mage bane.
I think Nahia is gonna end up doing the entire duration awake and just consume lots of coffee because her powers are short rest powers. I'll eat a rank of exhaustion to just stay up through the whole 24-hour duration.
It's actually a fairly low DC con save to do that.
I think if you're doing it and like exclusively fighting every hour, you're probably gonna take a exhaustion anyway. I would be utterly staggered if I am able to not just to be awake for 24 hours, but be in conflict 24 times over 24 hours.
Well, that does depends on also the respawn time of the ghost. If it takes like a day before they come back.
I thought it was honestly just an hour.
You do not know. You do not stick around for a long rest in Dalmanoth, I don't believe, or not more
I
than
thought we
one
were told
anyway.
it would be a D4.
Mm.
Oh, well.
Yeah, but
I'd have to-
we did stick around for short rests though, right?
We
yeah,
only
you
did two
guys
short rests.
did stick around for short rests.
Yeah, we
So
did.
we
did
know
two.
we know it's more than an hour.
Yes.
That's a good point.
So yeah, if you guys want to just go directly there, you can come in the morning. Otherwise, you are free to like head back to Dethick Dale or even Avara to restock supplies. I guess between sessions, just figure out what you want to do, and I'll prep Dalmanotha itself.
Yeah. The only thing I would ask before then is like, Valeria can use Hashat slots, yeah?
Yeah.
Yes.
And you've got quite a few low level ones left, right? Yeah?
Yes. I have
So-
everything under. I have all my 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and 1st levels left. So we
So-
don't do any fighting.
Between you, Tassie, possibly Elsina, and August if he hasn't left already, how many holy waters can we make?
So you have to prepare the ceremony spell, I believe. You just make that. I guess.
Is it a ritual?
It is. Hold on. Let me look at
If
something
you
real quick.
look on the Holy Water's own description, it
Yeah,
doesn't
it's-
require a spell. It's just a special 1-hour ritual.
Okay, so you can do that specifically without ceremony. Okay, let's see. 1 hour.
I know I'm a
So
lock,
I mean,
but
really,
I'm a
it depends on
Celestial.
how long you want to stick around here. If you just leave immediately in the morning, it's like sundown now, so let's see, 4 hours before people start like wanting to go to bed.
Now, if we're going to be preparing for a long haul of like a gauntlet of a fight in there while this spell is ticking off, preparation would be good.
Oh, yeah. I obviously had the ability when I was Paladin. Can a Celestial Lock make those, or is that no?
No,
we
it needs to
really
be a
need is-
divine power source character.
What we really need is
Okay.
ghost dust.
mean, we
Yeah.
already all hit ghosts. Oh no, yeah, ghost dust stops them from phasing.
Yeah, that's the sort of stuff you'd have to go back to like Ivara to pick up.
It's just one extra teleport. In the morning, we could go to Ivara, put in some orders, and then a day later teleport into Dalmanotha and do it. And then we've got a day's worth of holy water and ghost dust prep.
Yeah. How long does ghost dust
Plus, there are
last?
several.
You know,
Plus, there's several churches in Ibarra that you get holy water.
Sure, we could also do a round.
I'd have to dig up. I would have to dig up my notes on that because it was from the Borks game that I made that in.
Yeah,
Conjured
you
that stuff
made
up in.
ghost chaff. That might still be in my list. Let's begin to here. I'll open the old Borks game. Let's have a peeky peek. God, so many old documents. All right. Oh, huh. Oh my god, I forgot about that. I had so many fun random fucking alchemical goods.
Does any one of you have sending or dream sending?
Nope.
Let's see, is sending a ritual?
Nobody can.
Lol, no.
Yeah, of course not. Then I don't think any of you had that, and Elsina doesn't have it prepared.
Val has it.
Oh, well, there you go.
Okay. You know my cook squad,
Mm-hmm.
the mages that I have still on my work list.
Yes.
Yeah, so just send a message to them to start cooking even through the night.
Cooking
There will
what?
be, well, I'll give you a list.
Okay.
Savin.
Sure. Yeah, just between sessions, figure out what all stuff you guys want to buy, and go to a bar and pick it up.
I can't
Man,
find it
Elsina's spell
in
list is shit. She
Borks
died with
game.
a bunch of utility spells and no combat spells.
I mean, she wasn't expecting it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh
Hmm.
wow, I
She
forgot
got
the
used to the
fucking
book,
Sentinel
remember?
spell. Oh, the Sentinel spell.
The Iron Man spell that no one ever
Yeah,
really
it
used.
gives you fucking legendary actions to shoot fire rays or heal rays.
Wait,
Oh well.
this is the. Is this the right? Wait, is this the right? Wait, hang on a second.
I
This
have
is
a
the
slight
wrong
question
game.
there, Savin. If
It
she's
is. It is
attuning
the wrong
to
one.
the book,
This is the wrong one.
Mm-hmm.
This
Yeah,
one.
Wouldn't that give her access to every spell?
Yes, she will have access. Well, no, clerics always have access to all of the cleric spells. She will have an 8th level spell slot she can prep something into, though.
There it is. Ghost dust.
8 or
I found it.
7 upscale.
Cool.
Let's see what's on the cleric spell list at 8th level.
Does it actually give her access to the cleric list there? I thought.
She has a spell slot, and there's nothing preventing her from preparing a spell into it.
Fair enough.
Let's see, what the fuck is Temple of the Gods?
You make a church.
I don't know what I expected. Ooh, Conjure Celestial.
Tell you what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be fucking casting Guardians of Goddamn Faith. I do wish Guardian of Faith upcasted though, since all of my spell slots are level 5s and the Guardian of Faith is a 4. It always feels like a bit of a waste, but I couldn't not take it.
Okay. Well, we'll fiddle with her spells between sessions. Yeah, this seems like we're about done for the night. Just some bookkeeping to do between sessions, and you can get your stuff together for the expedition. So you guys are just gonna teleport to Avar, just rather than walking down there.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Right. Well, in that case, let's do XP then. Sarah's sheet out because she can actually get XP. Alright, did you explore a new interesting location for the first time? Yes, you've explored more of Elsina's temple. Did you discover an interesting truth about the world?
Yeah, the fate of Elsina's daughter. The reason for Dalmanotha's fall.
Well, you didn't really
Well,
discover the
Mupan's
fate of Elsina's daughter is the thing. You found out
That
she
she had one, sorry.
survived a battle, but unfortunately she disappeared from the history books after that.
The
Well,
Talionites
we found out she
were
existed.
the
No,
Talionites
yeah, I
were
suppose that's-
creating the calculon here.
Yes, the Talionites were creating what amounts to a very primitive computer out of souls. Did you make a new ally or lasting enemy? Unfortunately, I don't think Elsina really counts. Although I also think you counted her in last time. But when she's expressly going to kill herself at the end of next session, oof. Did you advance or complete a quest? Yes, you have cleared the temple out and finished Elsina quest. Did you discover a new page in a companion story? Yeah, you saved August's very distant cousin.
One that he didn't hate.
Yeah, one of the few relatives August did not hate. Discovered more about her story and prevented her from toiling out the rest of time locked in this temple. So, 4 XP, everybody.
Nice.
And that is the end of March as well. It'll be April Fool's Day when you go to Dalmanotha. Lol.
Wicked.
All the ghosts are contractually obligated to spoop at you.
Oh no, instead of fucking tower defense, it's gonna be Left 4 Dead, but everyone's wearing clown shoes.
Oh.
Alright. Well, if you are watching on the stream YouTube, thanks for tuning in, and we will see you next time. Have a good one.